And then they're like, yeah, no, your name's Detroit. It turns out it was already unique and didn't need the numbers. So, all
Oh, that's
right,
weird. I
thanks,
didn't
support.
hear. Oh, because you had numbers after yours for some reason, or
Yeah, well, whenever I signed up, I guess that's how they did it. It was always like your name, whatever you picked for your name, and then like the number sign, the pound sign, or whatever, and
huh?
then four numbers. Um, so yeah, if you never had that, I guess that makes
Weird.
sense.
How very odd. How very odd.
But yeah, I just kept ignoring it, and then it finally just went away. It's like, oh yeah, no, you already
Oh,
have a unique name
like
with
jury
that.
duty.
Indeed, as I prefer to ignore all issues and just hope they go away. It's a
Usually
great
that's
fucking
not how it
philosophy to
works.
live by. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. Oh
Yeah.
man, no, it's
Oh,
fucking
did I tell you I did get out of
change
jury
your life.
duty?
Yeah. Oh, nice.
The doctor
Yeah.
actually wrote an excuse, so I didn't have to go there and like
Mhm.
use. I had a walker. I think that was my best bet because like I can't stand up for like a long period of time, and I'm like, there's gonna be a lot of time where you're just like standing in line and like stuff like that, and standing around waiting. And it's like I have a hard time putting weight on my knee as it is. Like all the time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's good, sometimes it's really bad. And it's like yeah, that would not be
Yeah. Yeah. Not ideal.
not gonna work out the way
Yeah.
they're hoping. Like I'm not gonna be very useful to them, I don't imagine.
Mhm.
Oh man.
Yeah. Speaking of juries,
Oh
about
yeah.
that armor bitch from the Alec
Oh
Baldwin
yeah. She
uh,
got guilty,
thing.
thankfully. Yeah, I was worried they were all gonna walk on that one, and I was like, y'all murdered somebody. Like you can't just walk away from that. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
the
it's not first
unfortunate
degree
thing.
murder, but it's still murder, like negligence.
Yeah. Well, it was what the fuck was it? Involuntary manslaughter or something like that. She's only going to have like 18 months at the most. That's the most she's going to serve, which I think is
Imagine that
fucking
you
nuts.
take away everything a person ever was, ever will be, and you just have to go sit in a room for like 18 months as your punishment. Like that's it, like a year and a half. That's fucking
Yeah,
insane.
yeah,
That
yeah,
should be
yeah.
at
Like it's
least 10
quite
years.
obvious. Like
Like
it
it
is
should
fucking
bare minimum
dude.
10 years.
Yeah, like the
I mean, for
bitch
killing
only had
somebody.
her fucking. I don't know if you're familiar with her background or whatever.
Yeah.
But basically, her dad was like a famous armorer in
He
Hollywood
did the
for
same
fucking
job for
decades.
Hollywood. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. No wonder she got
Yeah,
hired.
yeah,
There's a lot of nepotism
yeah,
in Hollywood.
yeah. But here's the thing: she never bothered to fucking ever do her job or learn how to do it right. You know what I mean? Like she was, from what I understand, on the set with her dad a lot, but
Well, and
never
her whole
bothered learning
excuse wasn't
how.
her whole excuse. Like I told them, Alec needed to train more with the weapons, and I told Alec he needed to train more with the weapons, and he just wouldn't listen. So then walk the fuck
Yeah,
off.
yeah, yeah,
If you just
yeah.
did your
Do yeah.
job,
Follow
and then
the
if they refuse to follow the safety guidelines you threw down, walk the fuck off the set.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
they're
Join the
guns, they're
fucking.
not toys.
Cause yeah, dude, you the original camera crew they had literally left. They're like, we're not sticking around. This is fucking insane. Like you guys have zero care about safety,
Right?
and we're
Exactly.
going
See,
to
and
fucking
they're
leave.
not going to be charged with murder, and they didn't get killed.
Yeah,
So like it really worked
yeah,
out for them to
yeah.
do that.
And again, this is before the fatal shooting. It's not like it was a fatal
Well,
shooting and then they
they
left.
were
They left
saying they were
before
using
that.
the prop guns with real bullets to shoot like cans and stuff between takes or some shit. Like
Yeah,
they were literally
yeah,
mixing real ammo and blanks on a regular basis and just using the same firearms that they use on the set, which is insane. Like that's a
yeah. There
Hollywood,
was
that's
no
a
reason.
major Hollywood set. You could afford to buy a couple of cheap 22s that are a different caliber and a totally different style of gun from the ones you're using in the filming if you really want to go pop off a couple rounds between takes.
Yeah, but I think the whole point is, hey, it's funny that we're using these guns just to shoot at cans and shit. Like, you know what I mean? The same guns they're using in the movie.
Oh yeah, they obviously
I,
had no
I
respect for what they were doing. The guns were, yeah, that's so sad.
yeah, and then yeah, one of the prop bitch had an accidental a gun go off accidentally at one point before Alec Baldwin shot and killed and wounded the other person.
I hope she was using her brown pants. They're wearing her brown pants that day, because that's what I'd need to be wearing if I was fucking had a gun that accidentally shot.
Yeah, like apparently they were in the little cabin or whatever that was supposed to be the character's cabin, and just fucking around with the gun, and bam, it fucking went off. No, luckily in that one nobody got fucking hit.
Yeah.
But you would think that'd be a serious fucking wake up call, right?
I would be cleaning shit out of my pants. I would be
Yeah.
literal poop out of my pants. Like there's no other way.
Yeah. Yeah, and they kind of pointed out, they're like, no, if you're the armorer, dude, like, because they're like, no, Alec Baldwin's trying to, like, come on, let's go, hurry up. And fucking, if you're a fucking armorer, you should be being like, no, we're going to slow down and do this the right fucking way. I don't care if you're in a hurry. I don't care who the fuck you are.
Yeah, exactly. Who you are doesn't matter. This is about people not being hurt or injured because you don't feel like following the rules for some stupid reason.
Yeah, like it's quite obvious that the chick didn't give a fuck about her job, and she just liked being able to be on movie sets with fucking famous people and fucking, I guess, touting her OnlyFans. Yeah, she had an OnlyFans, of course.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah. Oh shit! Did you see the? I think I had posted it, but the name she had put like her device. I don't know if it was her phone or iPod or whatever the fuck, iPad or whatever. The name that she had for her fucking device, like when it would show up on like people's Wi-Fi or whatever.
Oh, please do tell. I'm sure this is gonna be classic.
Yeah, I posted about it on Sunday because Matt Blonde had to explain to Matt what it meant. But yeah, her name, her device's name, Gorilla Grip Pussy Pal. It was pretty funny. I should have clipped that, or at least timestamped it and showed you. Like, look at Matt trying to figure out what the fuck this means. It's fucking hilarious.
That's funny. He is too fucking.
He's a lot. He's still oddly naive for the shit that he's covered. And, yeah, he really is, dude. He's a little naive still. Yeah, entirely too wholesome for the internet.
He's like the guy. Like I could hang out with that guy because he's just a genuinely nice person. But I would be constantly censoring myself. Like, oh, nope, can't make that joke. Yeah. No, that's not a good one for him to hear. I don't think he'd like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's odd. He's one of those people that you can't imagine him having sex, dude. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Kids, which is the hard part.
Yeah. You're like, really? I can't imagine Matt fucking. Like it's, I don't know. It's weird. There's just some people you're like I don't want to see it, but I'm curious. Like, wow, what's that like?
Boring, I assume.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. Straight missionary all the time. Missionary. Yeah.
Although it could go the other way, like behind closed doors, it could be like.
Yeah, that is true.
That like is the fucking gimp mask and a fucking sheep comes out of the back room, and you're like, "Whoa, shit's getting real."
God damn, that's dude. The thought of Matt being like a fucking super kinky fucking sex demon is pretty fucking funny. God damn. But yeah, that does happen a lot. That does fucking, you know what I mean? Like the librarian that's fucking wild, you know, a wild sex maniac when she's not being a librarian.
Oh yeah, what was it? The lady I knew who was when I was blues dancing. There was a lady that was studying to become a librarian that I met and chatted with on occasion. Because you know you can't dance every dance. You have to actually talk to people, unfortunately. But her joke that she liked to fuck with people with was, how do you know when a librarian is coming?
Mm-hmm. How's that?
When she puts her book down.
That's pretty decent.
Right? And it's a good filthy joke to like be like, yeah, I'm a librarian, but I'm not fucking that boring. So, you know, settle down there, buddy. Nobody made any jokes about her being a librarian at that point, but afterwards, there definitely wasn't going to be any joking about that. Cause, you know. She'd
Yeah.
established that she was a funny person.
Yeah. Didn't take herself too seriously.
Yeah.
It's always nice.
Oh man. I'm so disappointed to find out that Megamind had a sequel.
That what? Megamind?
Yeah, Megamind. Oh, hold on, someone's at my door.
Show starting. No interruptions, god damn it. Ooh. Yeah. All right. I don't know how long he's going to be
Sorry,
gone. But...
sorry, I'm back. Somebody was
And no
dropping
worries.
something off for me.
Nice.
They were very nice to drop it off for me. No. So you know the original Megamind, the cartoon movie.
I don't think I ever saw it.
Oh, it's actually a really.
I'm familiar. I'm familiar with its existence. So yeah.
Yeah. It's a pretty fun movie, well animated, good voice acting, and it's from long enough ago that it's not very woke, so it's still really kind of fun. I was very disappointed to find out that it had a sequel.
Oh, yeah.
And the sequel was super, super low budget. None of the original voice actors came back. And it was just a terrible idea for the story, where it was just like, oh, he was also somewhat part of a villain team that he forgot about, and he had to go, he's got to go fight them all to be a hero. The bad guy that becomes the hero.
Yeah.
It was just so disappointing. It was like, oh, they killed it. No.
Yeah, no, dude, seriously. I really would like to have a moratorium on fucking any sequels or any remakes or any reboots until fucking Hollywood calms the fuck down with the identity politics. It's fucking ruining entire franchises, dude.
I just want new ideas. Like there's the problem is the writers they've hired are just awful. Like I can tolerate a lot of the identity politic nonsense if it was in good stories with good characters.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And that's the problem.
Yeah,
is these fucking writers aren't particularly talented, and they don't really care about writing a good story. It's all about
they also
pushing
weren't
the
hired
fucking
hired based on their skills and ability to write. So unfortunately,
yeah, you got to make sure they're diverse.
And me are kind of just a couple of schmucks, but I feel like if we sat down and genuinely tried, we could write a substantially better film.
Yeah, I think a lot of people could, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like if we can do it, anyone, can do it is essentially what I'm saying.
Well, for one thing, I think we would be focused on actually writing a good story.
Yeah, I don't know.
Trying to be
interested
entertaining.
in putting any sort of politics in a story, unless it's like, some sort of variation on like a Roman Empire-esque. You've got all the politics that are going on in the actual film. But they're not going to be based on real politics. They're going to be based on whatever the politics need to be for the story to be driven, not like
it would fit into the goddamn story instead of it being the fucking substitute for the story the way shit is now. Yeah, and these people have no originality, so they're like, well, I can't make up my own shit. I'm just going to take this franchise and fucking shoehorn my fucking bullshit politics into it and not bother, like the story is secondary, like a distant second place to pushing their fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And I was like, when they were talking about I was watching the videos on the Sweet Baby stuff and the stupid shit that bitch was saying. I'm like, these people don't understand. We don't fucking care if any of that shit's, diversity or whatever. We don't care if any of that shit's in the fucking game or the movie or whatever. As long as it's fucking fits. As long as it's fucking makes sense in the story and it's not just shoehorned in. Because, to check off fucking diversity boxes or whatever.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't matter to me if the character's straight or gay or any of that kind of stuff. As long as that's not the only thing that character's personality is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah, that
Yeah,
person's
and that's
gay, but that should, what else is going on? Because that's just kind of a really one-dimensional, boring character at that point.
yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing is, people that are into this, it's like that is their fucking personality. Like, you know what I mean? Like that should just be a characteristic of, their race, their fucking sexual orientation and all that.
Yeah, that is kind of weird to
Making
me.
it your identity instead of actually having a fucking personality. You know what I mean? Like that is their personality, just the fact that they're fucking whatever race, gender, and fucking sexual orientation or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's very
I
odd.
noticed that when there's a group of people I watch called MXR Play, and I get a kick out of watching their React videos. They're pretty funny, and they're a nice little just sort of like break from pretty much everything on the internet. They just a little 20-30 minute break every now and again to just laugh at shit, you know. And but
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
all Asian. The people who are on screen are all always like all Asian dude. Like it's an Asian dude and his girlfriend, and then their roommate that's also another like Asian girl who's their girlfriend's best friend that edits all their videos or something. But man, like
right,
half
right.
their identity is just being Asian, like as if that's like a personality trait. It's kind of like
Yeah,
I feel bad for him. I'm like,
yeah,
is that really like that? That seems kind of boring. Like, I hope you guys are doing that for the sake of the video and not like genuinely
yeah.
that
Like
one
a
dimensional because that
long,
is kind of
yeah, like it's a
BS.
long running joke or something instead of
Yeah,
just being like they're not joking. Yeah,
yeah. It's like everything's
yeah. That's
like as an
very odd.
Asian.
Jesus, dude.
Although they don't do this. They're not like woke. I should say as far as that goes. It's just like that's just like half the things they talk about are like, oh, Asian this, Asian
Yeah,
that, and you're like, all right, dude, calm down. There's other shit in the world
yeah, we
besides
get
this.
it.
You know.
Yeah, we get it. You're Asian.
Although I'm pretty
But
sure
yeah, it's
homie be
very.
banging both chicks. I don't think there's any way that you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a mid-20s guy living with a early 20s and a mid-20s gal. Like that's not.
Yeah, he's hooking up with the roommate slash best friend at least occasionally,
It's gotta be like there's
or
no
it's just a
fucking way.
three-way fucking polyamorous relationship. Although you'd think they would be talking about that too,
Well, they've been
if
together
that was
for a
the case.
really long time. The guy and the girlfriend on the internet,
I
like
gotcha.
4 or 5 years, I think, maybe more at this point, and it's
Mm.
all been like part of their community. So I feel like that's probably been going on in the background, but that's just not something you bring up, or
Yeah, that's
something
true.
if you're not like one of the woke people, and they're not woke people. So,
Yeah, I gotcha.
like, I'm sure they're super left wing, but they're not like actual wokeists.
Yeah. No, that's what I liked about. Did you watch the Asmongold video about the Sweet Baby Ink stuff
I
that I
didn't
posted?
watch the whole video. I made it through the first 3 or 4 minutes before I had to go to bed. I was like, oh no, I'm so tired.
Okay.
I was at a
Yeah, but no,
karaoke
that's one
event
of the
last
things.
night.
Yeah, because again, there's at one point one of that Sweet Baby, the CEO bitch, actually threw out the "you can't be racist against white people" thing.
Oh yeah. I did see the first couple of minutes where he talked about that, and I was like, normally you don't want to give Asmongold like a round of applause because he's kind of dumb,
Yeah,
but
no, he was
like
actually,
that, he
yeah, I made a
actually
lot
was
of really
dead
good
on.
points. He's like, nobody believes this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no regular person actually believes this. It's fucking nonsense. Um,
Yeah.
because I kind of wonder. I'm like, I don't like. Does she actually believe that, or is she just using it as a shield? Is she just like? I feel like that was kind of invented. I don't know. Originally, I thought maybe it's just like some kind of weird thought experiment. Like, oh yeah, see, there's power and privilege, so you can't be racist against white people or whatever. And then somebody picked up on it and was like, yeah, all right, yes, absolutely, yes, that's
No,
true.
it's the
And
way
fucking
to keep your cult members from challenging the beliefs or allowing anyone else to actually challenge the beliefs. So like part of
yeah, it's like a
deprogramming
shield.
cult people is you got to keep them from challenging whatever it is that you're teaching them. Because it's total bullshit, and any rational person not getting love bombed and and potentially drugged and fooled into thinking that it's this normal thing, would see what information you're giving out and be like, yeah, that's total nonsense. Like, obviously, that's bullshit. So
Yeah.
it's really important when you're indoctrinating the cult members is they probably do it to them too, like each other. But anytime anybody
Right.
questions the beliefs, it's like, oh well, you're full of hate, you're full of evil, something along those
Yeah.
lines. And so that's why there's the you're racist thing. It's not just so that they can shut down the conversation with you. It's so that they'll never challenge even in their own head. Like they won't
Yeah.
take anything
Yeah.
in that anybody else tells them. It's like it's an extra layer of keeping people from being able to like break that conditioning.
Yeah. I just wonder how many of them genuinely believe it.
I think they
It's
genuinely
hard
do.
to
It's like a
say.
faith-based thing. It's like Christians genuinely believe in God.
Yeah. 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 Ideology is pretty indistinguishable from religion nowadays. Maybe
Yeah,
that's always been the case. I don't know, but it seems worse now.
yeah,
Where it
does seem a
really
lot worse now
is.
than it used to be.
Yeah, it's like no critical thought. We're telling you what to think, so don't bother thinking for yourself.
Well, what's weird is suddenly everybody wants to trust the government. Like that's the part that really
Yeah,
makes it weird for me. It's
yeah, that is very odd, dude.
like
Like that's never been a good
we've
idea.
seen throughout history our government, every government lying constantly trying to pull shit. And these motherfuckers are
Yeah.
like, we want them to have all the guns. It's like, that's a stupid plan. You're an idiot.
Mhm. But yeah, no, he was one of the things that Asmongold had said, or he was basically like because it was talking about the whole you can't be racist against white people or whatever, and he was talking about like kind of shit in general. He's like a good what the fuck do you call it, ideology or whatever, is one that works in like all situations. Like you change the race, gender, all that shit around. The ideology should always work. But shit like that, he's like, um, if it's something where if you switch any of that shit around and it doesn't work, or it's not even that. And he's like, I forget exactly how he said it. He's like, yeah, and the bad ones are the ones that only work in theory. Like
Ah,
practically, they don't make any fucking sense.
yeah,
Like
that
I
makes
don't know. It's
sense.
hard. Yeah, yeah. No, he actually said way better. That's why I was like, man, maybe he's not a dumb guy. Because I remember it last week. I'm like, hey, he's a kind of a dumb guy that just has some common sense. But whatever. I'm willing to admit he's
Asmongold,
not a dumb guy. He's
even
at
a
least average.
stopwatch, even a stop clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, yeah. Because he's
He
definitely had some really silly
he's not the
opinions.
smartest guy in the room, but he's certainly not a
Yeah,
complete moron. I mean,
yeah,
he couldn't be where he is now if he was a complete moron. Obviously, like you have to have at least some pretty reasonable level of intelligence to
yeah,
keep
yeah,
going as a streamer. Because like there's people that lucked into it, like DSP, who like he got in early when it was still new, and so there wasn't a whole lot to see other than losers like him.
yeah, yeah. Mm.
But he's one of the lucky few. Most people, yeah, you wouldn't still be there if you were a complete fool. I can't imagine.
I forget. I think someone in his chat had made the point about the whole racism and not being able to be racist against white people. Someone in the chat was like, "Okay, so if a white guy goes into China and starts throwing around fucking slurs, like he has privilege, he has fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Oh
don't know. It
yeah.
was fucking weird.
Yeah. It doesn't hold up under scrutiny. It's like, yeah, you can't have. It's like racism can't be conditional to only be when it's convenient for your opinion. It's got to be a concrete definition of like, this is when it's racist, this is when it's not. The idea
Yeah,
that like,
one of the other ones. Yeah, yeah. One of the other He had mentioned something just offhanded. It's a weird thing that some dumbass in his fucking chat, because he's like, yeah, it's like astrology. Like, you tell me you believe in astrology, I kind of know that I'm not really going to take you seriously.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If you believe that you can't be racist against white people, it's going to be very hard for me to take anything else you say seriously. And then it's funny because one of the people was in the chat like, "Hey, can I like give you a few reasons why astrology, might actually be valid or have some?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "Why?" So we can go from 0% to like 1%. Like, he's like, "No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to make all the thousands of people watching dumber by you spouting off about astrology."
Dude, that's not only really mean but really funny at the same
Yeah,
time.
dude. Yeah, dude. Like I said, that whole thing, he was actually really, really, really spot on in
Well,
almost
and not
everything he
only
said.
that, but it only goes to prove his point that people who believe in things like astrology are dumb. Because, like, read the fucking room. He just said it's a bunch of bullshit. Did you really think he was going to be like, oh, sure, let me look at all your proof? You random
Yeah, and
one
again,
out of
it
like
was just
1,000 people in an audience that are, like, laughing at you now? And, like,
yeah, and he also pointed out, like, it's got nothing to do with this discussion anyway. Like, why the fuck do you want to spout off about astrology? It was just a fucking offhanded side example. Has nothing to do with what we're talking about,
yep.
other than as a comparison.
Yeah,
So yeah, people who are
exactly.
into astrology are really into astrology. Like, oh, he says astrology. He said it. He said it. I'm gonna fucking shoehorn this in, even though it has nothing to do with really what we're talking about.
Yep. It's well, like I said, it just proves how dumb, because you'd have to be pretty dumb to think he was going to go for it.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'd recommend watching the whole thing because he makes a lot
Oh
of.
yeah,
Again,
I intended.
really
Well, I'm probably going to watch it. I'll probably listen to it while I'm playing another game or something like that. But
yeah, yeah. Well, that's how I do
because a lot of
everything,
those,
pretty
there's
much.
no real visual content there. It's all just in the auditory stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's like
yeah. That's
the Gundam
mine.
videos. I like Gundam's videos because, like, there is some fun animation and some real, kind of well done, like, editing and graphics and stuff. But it's also written well so that you can just not watch it and just listen to him talking, and it's pretty fucking great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's unnecessary to actually see anything on the screen. You're just listening to
Yeah.
what they say.
But I like that his are like optional. There's enough on the screen that it's entertaining if you want to listen or if you want to watch.
Yeah, yeah. Indeed.
Oh man.
Yeah.
There was a video I posted this morning, so you probably haven't had a chance to check it out, I would imagine. It was a short, but it was just this guy walking around. It's this new housing development that's being made for, like, people to get more affordable housing. And all the houses in it are like a 1.5 million fucking dollars.
Yeah, and they're only like 1,200 square feet.
Yeah, they're like tiny.
Yeah.
They're like insultingly small, and they're all like super expensive. It was just like, he's like, yeah, bro, this ain't it.
Yeah, it's insane that they're trying to claim that's what they're doing, and then the houses are all over little ass houses on little ass lots too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like, you have like maybe 5 or 6 feet. There's going to be fences between these. So you have maybe 5 or 6 feet from the edge of your house to the edge of your fucking property. Yeah, I actually did watch that. Or at least,
I didn't know if you'd have time because it was like a short, but it was like, I was posted like this morning. You might not have seen it. I thought that was pretty good. And what was the other one?
Yeah, the one you posted about the old-timey quotes from the 60s, the guy talking about, like, yeah, your generation isn't fucking unique. Yeah, let me tell you how it wasn't ours, and all of us think everything's wrong and needs to be changed.
That's why I love that OK Boomer thing. Because it was this thing, that was like the best example of that, because you're like, oh, okay, Boomer. Even like, yeah, old-timer. Whatever you say, fuddy-duddy. Like, it's always been a term for that.
Yeah, we were all dumbass kids that were fucking overly idealistic.
Telling the old people that we knew better than everything. We knew it all better than they ever did, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I just thought that was pretty, like, I was like, I love that. It's so good. Because the way
Yeah,
he's saying it, it's so appropriate. It's like, I don't know
yeah,
if I
yeah.
posted the other video, but there was a video I saw where some kid was trying to, like, film in a bathroom. And some
Oh
old guy
yeah,
goes in there, the old black
yeah,
dude goes in there, he's like, I will slap the piss out of you, boy. You don't want
dude.
this.
And it seemed kind of fake because you're just like, I'm from Detroit, Michigan. And I'm like, whoa, Jesus, dude. All right,
Yeah, I don't know
but
if it
yeah,
was
no,
real
I'm
or fake,
curious.
but it was fucking hilarious, is what it was.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if that. Yeah, that kid looked like a huge bitch, so I can't imagine he liked that being posted. I assume that had to be live streamed
Oh, something like that.
because I
Who
can't
knows?
imagine posting that. You know what I mean? I can't imagine you fucking recording you getting the shit slapped out of you and fucking just kind of whining like a bitch after and then posting it.
Although, to
Although
be fair,
nowadays, you
people
never
post.
fucking know.
Yeah, I was going to say, people post some
Yeah,
weird, stupid shit.
that doesn't realize or don't care, I guess,
Yeah,
that
there's
it
like
makes them
videos
look
going
like a
around of that
fucking.
one black chick with the really, really big afro doing a riff on all the racist terms she uses to talk about white people. Like, she posted that. She thought that was a great
Yeah,
idea and that was going to have no consequences and no one would be like, that's fucking crazy racist. What's wrong with you?
yeah, it's fucking nuts, dude.
So, I could see that guy posting that going like, oh my god, that's crazy. If I was watching the internet, I would want to see more of the person in that video. I better put it up there. Or he may even think it made him look good.
Yeah,
To be fair, he didn't turn around and then beat the holy shit out of that old man, because like that takes a little effort. You gotta have a lot of restraint.
mm-hmm.
Because yeah, the old man
I
slapped
think
him, but
he
like,
got
let's be
bitched out.
real. Like, odds are, if it actually turned into a fight, that old man's going down hard.
Maybe. I mean, the kid didn't look overly big or anything, so
True. You
you
know
never
what? To
know.
be fair, there has been situations where that has definitely not been proven to be the case.
Yeah, and again, as he said, he's from Detroit, Michigan, dude.
Yeah. Fucking don't fuck with Detroit, apparently. Jeez.
It is a tough town, dude. Yeah, yeah. I remember going God, back in the early '90s. I'd flown back. I had a friend that I worked with here, and that was from back there and moved back there. And I went back to watch a Lions game. It's my team. But anyways, yeah, we were walking like downtown Detroit and shit. I'm like, God damn, this is ghetto as fuck,
Top
dude.
team in the NFL, those Lions, right?
Well, now they are, dude. They're actually pretty fucking good.
Oh, hey, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they've been very bad for a very long time. But yeah. Yeah, no, they were beating San Francisco, dude. Like they
Wow.
should have they choked it away. They were destroying San Francisco in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah,
And
all I
they
know
fucking
about
choked it
football
away.
for sure is that San Francisco, Dallas, and New York are really good teams.
Yeah. Well, San Francisco and Dallas are pretty consistent. New York is kind of up and down.
And then
Both
occasionally
teams kind of
Oakland
suck right now.
Raiders, or is it the Los Angeles Raiders now? I don't remember which.
Las Vegas actually.
Oh, Las
They moved to
Vegas. The
Vegas.
Raiders occasionally do really good, but they're also like really well known for being like the scummiest team in the league, and not in like a funny hee way.
Yeah. Yeah, they make some really stupid decisions, for sure. Because yeah, like every year they have what's called the NFL scouting combine, where basically all the prospects from college that are going into the pros,
Yeah,
they'll like run the 40-yard dash and do all these different drills and shit.
yeah. It's
And
like a horse
Oakland is
trading
pretty
conference,
notorious.
except it's people.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy. Because apparently the medical guys really fucking poke and prod at these fucking kids, dude. Like it's very odd. It really does seem
They do
slave
everything but
market.
like hold their mouth open and check their teeth.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even sure they don't do that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's everybody. I mean, it's mostly black people because again, they're the best athletes usually. Yeah, but plenty of white people are getting prodded and poked. And
Oh yeah,
shit
no.
too, so.
I was kind of referencing that one dude, the guy who likened being a football player to being a slave.
Oh yeah, Kaepernick. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh,
Kaepernick.
sorry. So my point is, Las Vegas Raiders. are notorious for taking the guys that have the fastest 40 time or whatever. Which, yeah, again, athleticism's part of it, but you also need to know how to play the fucking game. So
Oh,
yeah,
I was
they're
talking
weird at
about
that.
that team is notorious for intentionally injuring other players, uh,
Yeah, not as much
dirty
nowadays, but
plays on
yeah,
its field. But that's like what they're known for. Like that's their legacy, I guess you'd say.
yeah. It's been a while, but back in like the 60s, 70s, 80s, yeah, definitely. Um, a little bit, I guess now, but not nearly as what it used to be. The dude that the one guy that got paralyzed from the Patriots, I believe, was injured. Was paralyzed by a guy from the Raiders.
Oh, yep,
Daryl
that
Stingley. That was a
makes
long. That was in
sense.
like the 70s. That was in the 70s or 80s. Actually, other guys have gotten paralyzed. I shouldn't say that. It's fucking happened other places. But yeah, it was a pretty dirty hit. Yeah, he fucked him up, dude.
Gotta watch them Raiders.
God damn it. So yeah, not as much as it used to be. But yeah, because yeah, Al Davis was kind of the rebel fucking owner guy or whatever.
Mm. Makes sense. Makes sense. Um. Oh man, I'm waiting for this Fallout show. So much, and so little. You know what I mean? The
Right.
Fallout show on Amazon Prime that's coming out in April.
Yeah. I'd heard about that a couple weeks ago, dude.
Like
It's
the
fucking
previews genuinely look good, but like they're very light on any sort of story or dialogue. It's just a lot of quick visuals and one-liners, and so it's
right,
like,
right.
I'm really hoping it's not like woke and it's just like a regular story that's fun, like a Fallout story.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be woke though. From the
Yeah,
little
no,
bit
no,
I'd heard.
I'm pretty sure too. It's just like, oh, I wish it wouldn't be, but like, I know it's gonna be.
Yeah, the main character's a woman for sure, right? It's like a
Mm-hmm.
white chick. Yeah. Of course.
Absolutely. Walton
Which shouldn't be a
Goggins is
huge
in it.
deal, but again. Yeah, who?
Walton Goggins. I don't know if you know that guy, but he is an exceptionally good villain.
Oh yeah, Kevin Hart in it? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
I think he's in it too. I believe.
All right, yeah, I think let me see. I'll double check it. Kevin Hart.
I mean, yeah, we are on computers and phones where we can just access all of
Yeah.
information whenever we want. Technically
The fuck?
speaking.
Oh god damn it, it's bringing up a bunch of nonsense. Alright, maybe if I hit news. Let's see if news helps. God damn, even that is all fallout of his relationships. That's not working. Fallout show, maybe?
Fallout Amazon Prime cast.
If you ride a motorbike or
Yeah, okay, there we go. Let's see what we can find. Amazon Prime.
All right, here we got.
Amazon.
Top cast is Ella Purnell, Walton Goggins, Johnny Pemberton, Zilia Mendes-Jones, Dave Register, Annabelle O'Hagan, Michael Esper, Christopher Parker, Sheila Head, Daniel Martin, Harry Sutton, Cherian Davis,
Oh,
Aixa Kendrick,
yeah, okay, yeah.
Rodrigo Luzzi, Lear Leary. That's somebody's real
I
name,
think it was.
apparently.
I think they were doing.
Oh, Moises Arias. That guy's funny.
I think it was. I think they're doing a Borderlands show. I think he's in a Borderlands show.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He is. He's in the Borderlands thing. I remember seeing him in that. Yeah,
Yeah,
when
that's
you
what I
said
was thinking of.
Borderlands, that's when I. Yeah, okay, that's where I saw him. Oh, this kind of
Yeah, there
looks
you go.
sus because there's a whole lot of like random people that you've never heard of, but
Oh shit, Bobby Lee's in it. Okay. Kate Blanchett. All right. Gina Gershon. All right.
Yeah, Borderlands
Jamie Lee
looked
Curtis.
good too. Looked really, really
Wow.
good. They had a cast and a half for sure.
Yeah, Jack Black, fucking Jamie Lee Curtis. Wow. Okay. I don't like Jack Black anymore. He's fucking
Jack
annoying
Black
as
isn't
all hell
Jack
now.
Black in the film though. He plays the robot's
Yeah,
voice, so I
yeah,
think that'll be tolerable. Because I remember hearing his voice
yeah.
and then, fuck, it's Jack Black. But then he was the robot, and I was like, I think I can handle that. Like, I don't have to actually see the guy and listen to it and watch him do like the weird moving stuff for no reason.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Jack Black's been a disappointment, dude. I used to really like him, dude, but yeah, in the last fucking, I don't know, 10 years or so,
The
it's just
shtick
like
gets
this
old.
weird.
Imagine if Jim Carrey was
Yeah,
still doing Ace Ventura. I'm sure, like, by now it'd be like, oh, God, stop, please. He did two movies
yeah.
and walked away. Perfect. They're both amazing. The characters, everybody loves that character and will always remember it fondly. It was such a smart idea of his not to just keep going on that. Because after the second one, they were willing to offer Jim Carrey for 4 or 5 more
Oh,
of those
yeah.
fucking movies, right? And it's like
Yeah,
Jack Black just
yeah.
needed to be a little more diverse with his characters, because his characters all are kind of the same character.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
that just gets really old. You can only do that for so many movies before people are like, all right, but you're an actor, so can you, like, act
Do something else?
sometime maybe
Yeah,
in this? It'd be great. Like, your personality is awesome, but we've seen it like 10 times.
yeah. Let's
And
try
from what I
something
hear,
different.
Jack Black is one of those people like Jerry Seinfeld who's just incredibly gracious and friendly and nice and pleasant to everybody that he meets, like the fans and stuff. Like, has that respect for,
Yeah.
like, yeah, you guys are the reason I get to live this lavish, wonderful lifestyle, and, like, get paid to play. Let's
Yeah, I
pretend.
think it came to him a bit late in life too. Like, I don't think, you know what I mean. He didn't get a lot of fame like when he was super young. I don't think
Yeah.
so. That probably helped.
Oh, that
But
makes
yeah,
a
that
lot of
is definitely
sense,
good.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know that for sure. But I don't remember him being in before.
If
Yeah.
you watch the Never Ending Story Part 3, I believe, there's like a third Never Ending Story movie. There's like a first movie which is worth watching, and then a sequel that's awful, and then a third movie that's even worse. Jack Black, a very young Jack Black, plays the bad guy
Oh,
in the third
shit.
Never
Okay.
Ending Story. It's either the third or the fourth. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever seen the second one. Is the one where he's like every wish he makes, he loses a memory or something? Is that the second one?
Yeah, and it was hard to watch. It was pretty boring.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
Neverending
just a
Story
bunch of
3 has
wacky
Jack Black,
nonsense.
and then it's Jonathan Brandis, right, with Neverending Story 2? The
Right.
sad suicide guy? Yeah, Jonathan Brandis. He's one of those really unfortunate stories in Hollywood where he killed himself at, like, 27 years old.
Oh, sheesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked up, man. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Jack Black had a kind of a minor role in The Cable Guy. He was decent in that. He was just playing a regular guy, though. There was nothing over the top about it. He was like one of the friends of Matthew Broderick. So yeah, back then he was fine. But yeah, he's almost become a caricature of himself, and it's this weird like prolonged adolescence kind of thing. That's fucking annoying with him now. Like he's almost
Yeah.
more over the top childish shit now than he was, 20 years ago.
There's so many comedians that are like that right now, though.
Yeah, they get into the bit and they just don't want to fucking step out of fucking character or whatever.
Yeah, like I kept seeing clips of Brooklyn Nine-Nine that were kind of funny, except for the fact that Andy Samberg
right.
is in it. Like he's the main character.
All right.
And so it was like I decided to watch a couple episodes, and it's like he just plays the most obnoxious man-child, and it's like clearly that's just who he is.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's no acting involved there. I don't think. That's just he's an obnoxious man child, and it really it's only fun for like an episode, and then you're like, oh wow, this is really obnoxious. Like I kind of wish he wasn't in the show.
Yeah,
The rest of these people
that's
are
crazy.
pretty fucking funny, but this guy's a fucking waste of space.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen any of that. Yeah, I don't know. The Lonely Island thing, they did a lot of funny shit back in the day.
Oh
It
yeah,
was him and the other two guys that nobody's ever heard of. Trying to think. Yeah, well, the Dick in the Box thing, that was with him, the Lonely Island guys,
oh yeah,
and
jizz in my pants, stick in a box, all that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Did you ever
yeah,
watch the
Justin
video the
Timberlake.
chick made, the box in a box?
No.
This girl, it was nowhere near as popular, but it did get some popularity. Made a whole music
Right,
video and a
right.
parody song of that, where it was just her putting her pussy in a box, but along the same vein as they were doing the dick in a box, and it was pretty funny. It wasn't like it
Yeah,
certainly wasn't Lonely Island funny, but for YouTube,
yeah,
it was pretty good. It was like, oh yeah,
right. Oh, fuck. So yeah, it's not like he can't be unfunny or whatever, but yeah, shit gets kind of old.
yep,
You're just playing the same shit the whole fucking time.
yeah. If your art never evolves, um,
He was okay in did you ever see what's the one with him and Sandler? I think it's called That's My Boy. The one with him and Adam Sandler.
I've probably seen it. It's been a long
All
time,
right.
because
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll
I'm
double
a
check
big fan
it.
of Adam Sandler. If Adam Sandler like Ben Stiller in a movie, I'm usually gonna watch it. If I can.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically the premise was Adam Sandler was it was you remember how like there was a bunch of kids fucking their students, like women, female
Yeah,
teachers,
yeah, yeah.
or fucking
Oh yeah, you've told me
teachers
about
fucking
this. Yeah, he's the guy that fucked the teacher.
yeah, and like that's his only thing in life was he was so really famous for that, but it was years later when that you know what I mean,
Yeah.
not much use for him anymore, so he's just kind of a bum. But yeah, yeah. So basically, he's the Adam Sandler's the dad playing that character, and then like it was his son was played by Andy Samberg, who changed the name because the chick went to jail. The teacher obviously went to jail.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's kind of funny because the young part when they get caught, he gets caught fucking or whatever at school, is played by Susan Sarandon's daughter. But then later on, Susan Sarandon's playing obviously the same character, but years later in jail. So that was kind of cute. But yeah, Andy Samberg in that one is pretty much a straight character. So he's not being super obnoxious.
Oh,
I
and
gotta
is he
make
like
sure
an
that's
actual good, super straight character?
Yeah, like he's this nerdy fucking like accountant slash hedge fund guy. Yeah, it's called That's My Boy. Yeah, yeah, it's actually decent, dude. I like it. They also have. All right. This isn't really all that related to football, so bear with me here. But basically, Rex Ryan, who's a fairly well-known, good head coach for in the NFL. He coached the Jets for a while. Jets and the Patriots have a huge rivalry, right?
Okay.
In the same division and everything. They play twice every year, that kind of thing. So anyway, but Rex Ryan is actually playing a character that's a huge Patriots fan. So even though they kind of hate each other, he's actually pretending to, he's playing a character that actually loves the Patriots.
Oh,
So
no.
that was actually pretty funny. Yeah, no, it was actually pretty fucking funny, dude. Yeah.
That
Okay.
would be
Yeah, I'll see if I can
unfortunate.
find that clip.
I know people get
No,
very
it actually
passionate about their
really well.
teams.
Yeah, but no, it was really funny to have him playing a character that, because he did shit talk, the Patriots and the coaches and all that shit a lot when he was the coach. Like, he's a pretty outspoken dude.
Nice.
So yeah, to have him playing a character that loved the Patriots like that was pretty fucking funny.
You gotta wonder if like the person who was making the film was like, yeah, and he's a big Patriots fan. How do you like that now, bitch? Like fucking with him,
Oh, fuck. There, I got to see if I can find that, dude. There's got to be clips of that. Oh, that's my boy.
Oh, what about that Fannie Miller case while you're looking?
Mm.
Does that
Oh yeah,
not
yeah,
just
yeah. Go
keep
ahead.
getting wackier and wackier? Like now, like the divorce attorney for one of the people started like trying to get represented by the lawyer that are like prosecuting them right now or something. It was just like I'm so confused.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, oh no, he told me this stuff too. Like that one, that bitch.
Yeah,
Is that the way you're talking about? Yeah. It seems like she's trying to get in on the grift or something, or like try to get some fame out of it.
I don't know. Like just the whole thing. Like Nate the attorney did one today, and I watched like the first 3/4 of it because he tends to go on a lot and repeat a lot of stuff
Yeah.
over and over, and you're like, But I think that's because he's an attorney and he's like, you know, going back over the main point, sort of like he would in a legal argument where you're like, and then da 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 da, and that's because da 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 da, and then, you know, gotta keep bringing it back.
Yeah, that whole thing, dude. I could not. Oh, did you watch the behavioral expert one thing that I had put in there? Um, I was kind of talking about like I had no idea what these guys' politics are, but after watching this video, I'm like, yeah, these two are definitely lefty fucking libtards. But
Oh,
then one
yeah.
other guy was like, yeah, it's funny because like one of the other guys was like, if you told me this person, if I'm watching Fannie Willis and I know nothing about it, I'm assuming that she has zero legal expertise or experience.
Oh, yeah.
Like I would not, yeah, I would not have any fucking, yeah, you know what I mean? Like she's just so fucking ghetto and so fucking, oh god, dude, it was, yeah, it's funny because he lays it down because the other guys are being like trying to be nice because I assume they're lefty fucking libtards, and he's like, yeah, and yeah, if I didn't know any better and you told me that this bitch was a fucking DA for one of the, most important posts in Georgia or whatever, there's no fucking way I would believe you.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it's insane, dude, how fucking ghetto that bitch is, dude. And yeah, that's another one that I'm really curious. Like, does anyone actually believe that she paid him back for all this shit in cash? Does anybody genuinely believe that happened?
Oh, yeah, no. I think
Yeah,
they basically
are you
destroyed
familiar with
those
the case?
two.
Are you familiar with the case or not really?
So, as I understand it, she basically hired him after they started dating and has been laundering money for like vacations and lavish gifts and like hotel rooms and all sorts of stuff through him and claiming he was gifting it to her and stuff like that. It was just like a weird, convoluted
Yeah,
setup
well,
to
they
launder
were.
money.
It is highly unlikely that they started dating out, and they almost certainly were dating for quite a while before.
Oh, yeah.
Before she hired him on, she's claiming that they didn't. They're both claiming that they didn't start dating until after he came on. But
Yeah,
it's
because it's super illegal for her to hire like her boyfriend for that position. Like that's insane.
yeah. So it's pretty well established, in my opinion, that they were dating long before that. Because again, they pulled the fucking like cell phone data, and like back in 2019, because I guess whenever they got hired on, like sometime in 2021. But there's like cell phone data from 2019, 2020 of like 40 instances of his phone being right there in her neighborhood late at night, that kind of shit.
Oh yeah. Like they're not
I'm like,
hanging out and doing like a game of Scrabble at 3 a.m.
yeah, like it's fucking pretty blatantly obvious that they're totally full of shit. But yeah, basically, yeah, she paid him like 10 times as much as she paid any other fucking lawyer for the job. And yeah, like I said, it's fairly obvious that. Yeah, again, I don't know if anyone actually believes that. Yeah, no, he was putting it on his card, you see, because he knows all these travel agents or whatever. So he puts it on his card, but then I pay him back. Oh, no, for the cruise? Oh, yeah, no, I paid him before we even left. Yeah, in cash. And fucking, It's like if you're a lawyer and you have no record of that, like even fucking just writing it down somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that
She's like,
makes
no,
no
no,
sense.
we're yeah. It was it's a black thing kind of came into it because like black people keep a lot of cash in in their house, so that's why she had a whole lot of cash that she didn't really need to account for apparently, and she
No,
paid him back
welfare
out of
fraud
that.
people keep a lot of cash.
Yeah, yeah. Mm. But yeah, it's fucking nuts, dude. Like it's pretty fucking obvious. I don't know how it works, like legally proof, but again, it's very obvious that they were dating long before that. Yeah, and it's just an amazing coincidence that the day before he got hired on, he filed for divorce from his wife. Literally the day before he officially got hired on for the Trump case, he filed for divorce from his wife.
Oh, nice. I'm sure she appreciated that.
Yeah, well, I'm sure she fucking was in on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, all right, you got to be out of a fucking relationship if we're going to pretend to be in a relationship only from now going forward or sometime after now instead of, me and you fucking for the last 2 years. Yeah. But it was nice to see a dude fucking his way to a better fucking career.
True.
So good for that guy. Because again, I saw his ex-wife and I see Fannie Willis, and I'm like, I'm not into black chicks, but his ex-wife, pretty fucking hot.
Oh my god, a preference. You're so racist.
Yeah, you said it again. Black chick's definitely lower on my list, but yeah, she's pretty attractive. Fannie Willis looks like a black Miss Piggy, especially in that pink fucking dress.
He's her Kermie.
So good for that guy, I guess. Yeah, dude, I seriously thought there's got to be a deep fake
Do you think they've ever
of
dressed
her
up
as Miss
like
Piggy
Kermit
and
and Miss
fucking.
Piggy and banged?
Probably not. I assume she would take umbrage at being referred to as Miss Piggy.
If I was one
But
of the
maybe
lawyers
not.
in that case,
You never
I'd
know.
I'd
Did you ever
ask,
call him Kermit?
did you ever dress up like Miss Piggy and he dressed up like Kermit the Frog? He all bang?
All right, let's see. I'm gonna look it up. I can't be the only one that made that comparison.
Mm-mm. I'm sure other people have noticed.
Damn it! I gotta learn how to. Damn it! No, maybe not. Maybe she was hotter when she was younger. She looks like she's definitely put on some weight recently.
She getting a little bigger than she
Nathan
already
Wade.
was.
But yeah, dude, I'm still amazed by how she had no attempt at like having any kind of like decorum for the courtroom. She was just a fucking cunt. The whole unprofessional, just fucking ghetto as all hell, man.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah,
like
did you ever see the clip where like she's getting fired up, and then the fucking judge is literally like just stops it and is like, all right, we're gonna take 5 minutes. Like this bitch, and he didn't say it, but he was like, this bitch needs to cool the fuck off. And she's just sitting there leaning back with her fucking, her hand and oh god, dude.
Oh no. I know the pose you're talking about.
Yeah, here I've got a fucking. This is not quite it, but it's close enough for our purposes.
It's like the talk to the hand pose.
Yeah, well, no, it's up by her face, like almost that, like kind of like an L shape, and she has it like on the side of her fucking her head. Here, I'll post it. This isn't exactly it, but it's pretty much like that. I just posted. Yeah, because at the end, like that one, she looks relatively.
Is she having a like a nice nap or something? Is what the fuck? Like I didn't know how you behave in court.
Yeah, dude, Like even for like a good solid minute after the judge called for the 5 minute recess, she's fucking leaned further back than that, and the fucking it's more of an L shape, and just fucking looking furious, dude. Like she still couldn't get out of that fucking mindset, even after the fucking 5 minute recess was called.
God damn. That is a pose.
Dude, it's so fucking trashy, dude. Yeah. Oh, dude, did you ever listen to the amount of ums and ums from that dude?
I
From
made
one
it
of her
12 minutes
lawyers.
before I couldn't go anymore.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking nuts, right? Like, and it actually kind of gets
How
worse, dude. Like you
did
think he
they
would
sit through that
relax.
without punching him in the face?
Yeah, dude, and actually, again, you think he, guy's like, okay, maybe he's nervous or whatever, but like it actually kind of gets worse as it goes on. It also could be because the judge was kind of shooting down all the bullshit he was trying to throw up, so that could have made him more nervous. I suppose that's probably what happened. Because again, the claims he was trying to make were pretty fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, but that was like, yeah, because I didn't see him for the longest time, and I only heard him, and I'm like, he sounds like Bobby Lee. He sounds almost exactly like Bobby Lee, and then it's some fucking wimpy white dude.
Bobby Lee isn't annoying in that respect, though. Like he doesn't do the ums and the ahs quite as much.
Yeah, no, I just
And
meant the sound of his
he
voice
actually
overall.
tells
Yeah.
interesting stories, and I kind of feel like the way he tells it is part of what makes it fun. You know what I mean? Like the making you wait for it kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I like Bobby Lee. Yeah, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I just thought he sounded like, again, just the voice itself, not any manner of speech or anything, but the voice itself. I'm like, is that fucking Bobby Lee? What the fuck? And then I see him, I'm like, oh, all right, that is not what I expected him to look like. But yeah, no, I like Bobby Lee a lot. Like he's a complete fucking degenerate, but I don't really hold that against him.
He was on
You
Joe
know, he's
Rogan.
pretty fucking entertaining.
So Joe Rogan is absolutely anti-woke now. He's finally come around to the point where he's like, because he's always been kind of like on the fence with like, I don't dig that, but I'm not gonna like make it anything that I talk about kind of thing. We're gonna just stick with other shit for the most part. Right. He's had some fairly woke people on, and no, he's gone full anti-woke at this point where he's just not having it anymore. He's like, nah, fuck that. And he had Bobby Lee on, and I was surprised to hear Bobby Lee was in the same camp where he's just like, yeah, no, this is ridiculous. Like, you can't even, like, people can't just have civil conversations anymore. Like when politics is
I wonder.
Absurd.
I wonder if it's the move to Austin, which Austin's still obviously fucking leftist fucking hellhole or whatever anyway too. But I think it's not only being in Austin, but not hanging around with all the phony fucking woke comics in LA anymore.
Yeah, that's got to be part of it. I mean, and maybe that's not everything. Maybe something else that he finally the straw that broke the camel's back. I want to say,
because I mean, Alex Jones lives in that area too, so you know what I mean. Like,
I think the thing with Rogan is the giving hormones kids and sex change operations is really the biggest part.
Yeah.
And it's probably because he has
that was kind of a turnaround.
And the stuff that they're teaching in schools that's just not good for kids, like it's not true, and it's like setting them up to be depressed and mentally ill and all sorts of shit with the way they're teaching it right now.
Do you remember when he had the Adam Ruins Everything guy on? Who I used to like, but he's obviously a woke fucking lefty libtard fucking moron.
He was like, if they're a girl, then why do they need more hormones?
Right. Yeah. Well, no, it's because Joe Rogan's putting some shit out. They were both talking about it, and like Joe Rogan throws out all these fucking facts, and then fucking Adam Conover, the Adam Ruins Everything guy, is just like, no, I disagree. And he's like, disagree with what? Like what I just said, do you disagree with? And he had no answers. He's like, no, I'm no expert, but friends of mine, and did that kind of stupid shit.
Oh yeah. The appeal to authority. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about, but this other person that I magically know out of my back pocket knows everything, and they say you're wrong.
Yeah, he had
Oh,
zero
okay.
facts. I'm no expert. I just disagree because I disagree. Yeah, it had no fucking rationale for it. I'm sure if you see the guy, you'll know who I'm talking about.
Oh,
I'm in
I know. I watched that clip.
the picture.
I watched that
Okay,
clip
okay,
just a
all
couple
right.
days ago.
Oh no shit, because that happened a while ago, dude. That was
Just
fucking
popped up in my feed. I've
goddamn
been
year, a
getting a
couple of years
huge
ago, I
influx
think.
of anti woke stuff on YouTube now. Like
Nice.
just
Yeah, that was
everything is
4
anti
years
woke
ago.
on my feed, and it's like it's crazy. And I don't even watch that much anti woke stuff because I kind of tend to avoid a lot of that. Like I'm interested in seeing like news of what's going on, but I don't need to go
Right.
see what other kooky bullshit somebody's come up with to know it's not true.
Yeah, yeah,
I know the difference between facts and not facts, and I can kind of smell that woke logic
yeah, yeah.
from a
It's
mile
pretty
away.
blatant.
Where you look at it and you're like, oh, there's woke logic. Better apply real logic and see if it holds up. Oh, no, not surprising. It doesn't. You know, most of the time.
Yeah, yeah. The arguments haven't really changed much over the last, I don't know,
Yeah,
six,
and
7
I feel like
years.
if you dwell
Really.
too much on that stuff, it can really fuck with your head, and you think that that's a lot of people believe that, and it's really just not.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
very small
Well, that's why.
percentage of very loud, pathetic losers that don't know what they're talking about that really push that, and a very small percentage of billionaires who own the media companies that help them to push that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's fucking. Ugh. But yeah, that's why I like the Asmongold thing. Him pointing that out. He was like, no fucking, no people really believe this.
Yeah, that was
Nobody
really nice. I
actually fucking
appreciate
thinks
whenever
that.
anybody with that kind of audience says that kind of thing and helps to like give people that reassurance that like no you're not crazy, this is the majority of people who agree with you, this is silly nonsense and it's really fucking with our culture and the fabric of our country at this point.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it was definitely nice to see that because yeah, again, like I said, half the people that spout that shit, I have to assume a decent chunk of them know it's bullshit.
um
Some of them probably
I tend
genuinely
to agree
believe it.
with Joe Rogan in that a substantial amount of the people on the internet spouting that are AI bots from China.
Yeah, yeah, would not be surprised in the least, man.
Because there's a lot of eerie similarities when you're talking to people online that just don't make sense if
Yeah,
it's a real
yeah,
human. It's like, it's just,
yeah. That is also one of my favorite accusations to make. Like when I'm fucking, if somebody's responding with some stupid shit to like a comment I made on a video or something,
oh
is to
yeah,
accuse them of being a bot. I'm like, there's no way an actual human being believes this, dude. You have to be a bot.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, even if I'm pretty sure it isn't a bot, it's still fucking. I still
Oh
find
no,
it pretty
you're still
funny.
gonna say that. Yeah, no, it's fun to watch
Yeah,
people flip shit.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's something to just piss them off, dude. Yeah,
Oh
or
man.
trolling. Those are my two favorite things, dude. Is to accuse them people of being bots when they say something stupid, or accuse them of trolling and that they don't actually believe what they fucking typed. I'm like, oh, I get it. You're trolling. You're fucking doing like a devil's
Well, and
advocate
at that
thing. All
point, the
right,
only thing you
you
could
got me.
possibly say at that point is nothing. Like if they're on the other side of that, there's
Right.
no winning that argument at that point because obviously at this point you're fucking with them. So it's like, yeah, and for some reason, there's a lot of people out there who have a hard time like realizing like, oh, I should uninvest myself from this discussion,
Right.
and they get
Yeah. Yeah.
genuinely mad and like really like into it, and it's like, all right, well,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
we're
do
not
it
changing
to
each
piss them
other's
off.
minds. I'm fine with shouting into the void, but I'm not going to spend all my
Yeah.
time on some silly argument over comment wars or some shit.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I'm not gonna bother fucking like I can see where you're coming from and it's a stupid position, so I'm not gonna
Yeah.
actually engage with your fucking nonsense.
It'd be
I'm
like,
going to fucking because I find it funny. I'm going to accuse you of being a fucking AI bot or that you're just trolling
it'd
and
be
that
like
no
having a
actual
real
human being.
conversation with one of those blood sports guys.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's nothing
When that was
productive is going to come
briefly
out.
popular in our little corner of the internet.
Yeah, for a thankfully relatively short period of time.
Didn't they get like a couple
Uh,
of actual fairly large YouTubers on that? Like the Internet Aristocrats and
um,
stuff?
yeah, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, no, it was fucking popular for a little stretch there, and then it turned out pretty much all of them were, you know, just full of shit, and it got old too. I mean, you can't just keep having fucking alleged debates where they're just fucking screaming at each other and not really making any fucking points anymore. Like it's gonna get old pretty fucking quick. Yeah, yeah, it was definitely a sad day.
But it's like, it'd be like engaging in those debates. It's like such a waste of time. I got
Yeah,
super lucky
yeah.
in the one debate I had with like a YouTuber that it was an actual debate.
Mm. Yeah, it was actually the Millennial Woes one, you mean?
Yeah, it was an actual debate and not just us yelling at each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
But
I
yeah, it's
did
pretty fucking.
think of that thing that with Matt Christensen, like, think of him having sex. I was like, the only thing I could see is if he did the Mormon thing through a sheet.
Yeah, yeah, like the fucking magical underwear or whatever.
Yeah, no. There's,
Yeah.
a,
Oh
there's
no,
a
it's
thing about the
Orthodox.
Mormons where they put a sheet between the husband and wife, and they bang through the hole of the sheet or something like that.
No, that's Orthodox Jews.
Oh, is
You're
that
thinking
Jews?
of,
Okay,
dude.
well, whatever. Jews, Mormons, same
I don't
shit.
think. Yeah, I know the Mormons have some kind of weird magical underwear thing.
Yeah, they have
I don't think they
a.
do the hole in the sheet because I remember there was a Curb Your Enthusiasm
Oh,
video
there
where
was
Larry
that
David
whole.
was
The Mormons have had some wacky fucking things. The soaking thing.
yeah. Yeah, the whole thing might be them too, but I know it's definitely some weird Orthodox Jewish thing, the hole in the
Yeah.
fucking sheet. Because he's like, oh,
Oh no, I'm
you're
sure.
gonna
Yeah,
hook up with her?
I don't know that it was definitely the Mormons. I just that's what I remember. But I mean, I could easily
Yeah.
be wrong on that. It's not like I study Mormonism or Judaism for that matter.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it's Judaism, and it could very well be Mormonism too. But yeah, either way,
Yeah,
no big deal.
Yeah, you're equally possibly right on that because like fuck if I know. But yeah, that was just my immediate thought. Was I know there's like that group of people that are, but I remember the Mormon thing about soaking. There's still people that believe that shit.
Mm, yeah, that one or the dry humping. Is that what you're talking about?
No. So there was
Or is
the
that something
Mormon.
different?
It was like I think it was supposed to be going on in the Mormon colleges because I think there's like a couple of different Mormon schools. And the deal is,
Right.
you have the guy and the girl. The guy puts his pee-pee in the girl's pee-pee. I don't know how much you're allowed to say on YouTube. Fucking adults know how sex works. But like, you know, they put their parts together, and then they lay on a bed, but they don't hump. There's no thrusting involving. So instead, in order to get off, they'll have a third person, a friend of theirs, jump on the bed so that it jostles them up and down. This was the bullshit that was like somebody made a video about it on YouTube, and that's how it spread. And that was supposed
Holy
to get
fuck.
them off, and that was how they would, come together essentially if they were dating, because they couldn't have sex. But this way, they weren't the ones doing it. Somebody else made it happen. It's not their fault. Which is
yeah.
the dumbest fucking thing on the planet. Like, you just listen to it and you're like, oh, that's absolutely made up.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
Because like the Catholic schoolgirls figured out the Jesus's loophole long before the Mormons ever existed. I'm sure, like,
Right.
so like I can't
Yeah, or
imagine
the
that the Mormons
technical,
wouldn't go with the same route. Like, why not just do anal? And it's, oh, God doesn't care if it's anal. Sure, whatever, go for it.
Yeah. The technical virgin thing,
Exactly.
which I had watched in Clueless, in the movie Clueless, the original one. She actually talks about it. She's like, no, my man is satisfied, and always, but technically I am a virgin. So, and I didn't know what that meant for the longest fucking time, but yeah. So she was basically just doing anal, and she had never been penetrated vaginally.
There was a chick in one of my high school classes who announced rather loudly, because she was fucking clueless and like timing and shit. Like you're talking to your friend and The whole class is talking, and then everybody's quiet because the teacher's trying to get your attention, and you're still talking, kind of thing. She announced very loudly to the class that, "Oh no, I'm a virgin everywhere. Well, maybe not my mouth." And that was her comment to the class in high school. And even the teacher was like, "Well, that's a hell of a statement. The fuck is that about?" He's like, "We could really pursue what that means." And he was like, "But we're not gonna." And then he moved on.
Dude, I used
had
to
address it before the class was going to be able to recover. You know, like there was no moving on from that.
Like, we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen and move on. Dude, a friend of mine had a fucking thing that I found really hilarious that I actually adopted. Was like, if you're in a bar, you know, with the loud music and shit playing, basically, like, as soon as the song ends, you say something really loud that's like really fucking wacky, you know, like maybe embarrassing or whatever.
Oh,
like you're continuing
fuck with
the conversation.
Everybody?
Yeah, like you were having a conversation, you were having to talk loud because of the music, and it cuts off, and then like all you say is like, "So I shot the heroin in the vein under my dick," or you know, like something like that.
Yeah.
It was so fucking, dude. So I kind of stole that from him, and I would do shit like that because it was pretty fucking funny.
That's a good one. I like that. That works.
Dude, dude. The first time he did it, I'm like, "Oh fuck, I'm stealing that. That is fucking amazing."
Oh, what was it? One of the wacky things I saw that people do for humor. Although this one I thought was probably not the best of ideas. Some guy in one of the other checkout lanes at the grocery store one time, he greeted his friend by pretending to start a fight with him. Like they would start shoving each other, and like they were gonna get into a fight, and like chest bumping and shit. And then they would get to the point where like the fight's gonna start, and then they would hug and laugh and stuff. And it was just like, that's not a real good fucking plan. Like, you're gonna get, somebody else is gonna get real fucking involved, and then you're gonna be like, we're just joking, and then he's just gonna beat you both up.
Right.
Like it's just like, it's not like I wasn't upset by it. It was just like, I'm gonna stay back because I don't want to be involved in this. I just want to buy my fucking shit and leave. So I was just, kind of ignoring him. It's like, whatever. I don't give a shit. Not my fight. Not my problem. I don't work here.
Right.
You know, fucking you guys fight all you want.
Yeah, it's like it's funny in theory, but yeah, in practice, you can definitely see it going very, very wrong.
Yeah, I'm just picturing like a security guard with a taser, getting a little excited, you know, like.
Yeah.
There's so many ways that doesn't end with them hugging and having a great time, you know.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that one's definitely risky.
Yeah, but I get the idea. In a movie, that would be fucking hilarious, or a TV show. Because you know you're like on the side of those people. I was surprised to hear Theo Von so into so anti-woke.
Yeah, when he's talking about the fucking migrant fuckers that were just attacking cops and shit.
Yeah, and he's like, then they gotta fucking go. They can't stay here, they should fucking go. He was like, this is absolutely insane that we even have this conversation. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and he's a super laid-back dude. He was fucking pissed,
he usually
dude.
stays
You could tell
way off of politics. Pissed. He doesn't have anything to do with them most of the time.
Yeah.
But you can tell honestly, he was a good old boy in that conversation. It was like, no.
Yeah. No, I've watched some of his stuff recently. I fucking really like that guy now. Like, for the longest time, because he started off, I think, in like the MTV, like Real World Road Roost Challenge or some shit. And I thought he was just like, this is just a fucking pretty boy or whatever, just trying to fucking, do comedy. But yeah, I've listened to him like that. It's pretty fucking good.
Oh, yeah. His comedy is pretty solid. I watched him on Joe Rogan. He seems very much like, at least from the little clip that I watched of him, was he seems very middle of the road, leaning a little bit towards the right kind of guy.
Yeah.
So now he's like a heavy conservative, but like most of the time he would be very much like a center.
Yeah. Fairly common sense.
Like an undecided center voter kind of guy who's like, he's going to vote for some of the Republican things and some of the Democrat things in general. Seems like it. But a nice guy, very, very fucking funny, very quick wit.
Yeah, I don't know if he's fuck, is he still in LA or did he go to Austin with Rogan and all of them? I don't know where he's at now. I think he
I
went to
think he's
Austin
still in
too.
LA.
He might be, yeah. But no, I watched the one with yeah, like him and Shane Gillis is pretty funny. Him and Will Sasso is really funny. Those two groupings, those guys seem to get along pretty well.
Yeah.
I forget if it was it Gil. I think it was the Shane Gillis one where there was an old video of Eric Adams, who I think is the mayor of New York now. I don't know what he was at the time, but basically it was like a fucking I guess an educational type video of like parents like um, look, these are all the places your kids might be hiding drugs and guns and stuff. And it was pretty fucking absurd. Like some of the shit that Eric Adams was fucking pointing out in the video where your kids might be hiding shit.
Oh
And then for
yeah.
the rest of the episode, they were just coming up with wacky ass shit, making like riffing off of that.
They're gonna cut a
Yeah,
small notch in the back of the bookcase and hide it inside the back wall of it or something.
yeah. So, but yeah,
Like
some of the
more and
shit he
more
was coming up
ridiculous.
with
Like
and funny.
they're gonna hide it inside of a bird cage. You know.
Like, yeah, you can hide bullets here in this part of the book, and then cut out the book, and there's drugs in there, like that kind of fucking. Yeah, it was pretty fucking wacky.
Oh,
But the ones that they were coming
Can
up
you
with,
imagine the surprise you would have if you were like, oh, I'm gonna cut some parts of this book out in my bookshelf and use it to store some secret shit, and somebody else had already done it.
no, right? Like there's already holes cut into it. Like, oh
Yeah, I was
wow,
just thinking
I guess
about
this
that.
is
Like, you're like, oh, I'm
perfect.
gonna
But
store these bullets in here. Oh, fuck, somebody's wallet's in this fucking book. What the hell? You know, like,
yeah, that would be fucking great.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Especially if you lived alone, then it'd be real fucking weird. No,
Jesus, I don't even remember doing this. What the fuck? Maybe I do have a problem.
oh man. Just before I forget, I like that there's all these people saying like "Free Palestine," and I'm partially in agreement with them for sure. But also at the same time, why aren't they saying anything about like the 240 hostages that Palestine took?
Yeah,
You know, it's
yeah,
like free Palestine, free the hostages. Like both of those things. Thank you. Pretending that only one of them is immoral? No.
right. Yeah, that's my thing with that. I'm like, you know, because one side is bad does not mean the other side is good, and I kind of view both sides as kind of terrible.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point, I lean towards one side by a little bit,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but it's not like I'm still not like I don't think the U.S.
yeah,
should be
you can,
involved.
yeah,
I
you
think
can
we should
still, you
get
can
the
say
fuck
like,
out.
okay, yeah, and like the Israelis aren't as bad, but they do also do fucked up shit too.
I do
Although
think
some of it
at
does kind of
this
make sense.
point,
It's a fucked up situation.
I do think at this point, like, I don't know that there's any way to resolve that peaceably. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If a nuke accidentally went off and just took out everyone, it'd take 40, 50 years or whatever, but
Yeah.
problem solved.
Yep. 100%.
Probably a better solution, I guess, but
Well, there's two sides, and one side wants to kill us unconditionally, and
yeah,
and that side would also like I think kill most of the people that are protesting in their favor right now. Like just genuinely like haul them off for public execution. Like you
yeah,
see a dude with like fishnet stockings on talking about free Palestine. It's like, son, they would
they
grab
fucking
you out
kill
of the
you
crowd after you might
and
get
throw
a
you
couple
off the
hours
building.
on the street before you were grabbed off the street, taken somewhere, and people threw rocks at you until you were dead.
Yeah, they take them to the nearest tall building and just throw them off.
Well, no, the guy
Yeah.
from Palestine said they would throw rocks at him, so I'm gonna
Oh,
go with him.
I thought that was
I assume you
okay.
throw them off if you know for a fact. Maybe you caught them actually in an act of gay sex.
Oh,
Whereas,
okay.
like, I think just suspecting it and just being generally that much of a degenerate is enough to get you executed by stoning. It isn't even about being gay. It's just like you're wearing fishnet stockings, and that's not okay. Men don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's just not.
Yeah, you don't. This is a one strike you're out situation.
Which seems a little harsh because there are some men who can pull those off quite well.
Right.
I mean, we've all seen.
Oh shit! Was it you? Did you post a video of the fucking all the guys walking in high, like the red high heels?
Maybe. I mean, it sounds like something I would post if I had seen it. Like, and it was funny.
Yeah, it was. I don't even remember. It was like it was a virtue signaling fucking bullshit thing.
Oh yeah, it was something like that. Then I'm sure I did and made fun of it.
Maybe not.
I was going to say, like, we've all seen Rocky Horror Picture Show. There's like a lot of men wearing some fishnets very well in that movie, you know? Like,
yeah. There's some dudes that can pull it off.
Tim Curry can pull off fishnets like no one else. It's pretty insane. You wouldn't have expected it. I always wondered if he did like special, like workouts or something for that. Like he went out and just did leg day for like a month or two prior to the beginning of filming, you know? He was just like, I'm going to beef my legs up so that they're not gross and flabby looking.
Damn it, I don't want to see any of that. Come on.
Oh yeah, that Dalton Mayer just keeps getting wackier. Apparently they were going to have like an FBI investigation. They were passing a resolution asking for one. And so she just vetoed it.
Yeah, but they already have enough people to override her veto.
Oh yeah, well I mean, everybody wants her out at this point. There's like, I think, what is it, like there's 2 council members that are making money from her, so the rest of them are against her.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, I assume the red high heel thing is a walk a mile in her shoes fucking kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because all women wear giant red heels.
Yes. Yeah. I remember, as being younger, I never thought about what it would be like to walk in those things. Like you're fucking constantly up, and your fucking calf has got to be like cramping up and shit.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of high heels. I don't understand why people think they're good.
Dude. Yeah, I mean, again,
funny.
Yeah. You want to look taller as a woman? Like, fucking why?
Well, not only that, but you also walk weird and like you're standing awkwardly because you're not on balance the right way. It's like nothing about it is attractive to me. It just makes you look like an idiot.
Yeah, and they almost always make like a clip clop, like a fucking horse.
Yeah. Oh god, that
like
fucking
a horse
noise.
Walking too.
Oh god, I hate that noise. But yeah,
okay,
nothing about that is appealing. I've never understood the high heels thing. That is always such a weird one to me.
Yeah, same here, man. I'm like, all right. I guess they think it looks good.
Yep.
Yeah. Although there are a lot of things that women do that they seem to think is attractive. That isn't. Like, remember the duck lip thing for a while, a few years back? Like, no, that doesn't look attractive at all, dude. Where they, they puff their lips out, and, like, way the fuck out, the duck lip thing.
Yeah,
you remember
but
or not
that's
really?
One of the. I remember what you're talking. Yeah, no, it looked hideous. Absurd.
They all thought it was great.
But that's one of those things where like the majority of what women do is for other women.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the makeup and the outfits and stuff they wear is to show each other up. It's not as much for anything to do with men.
And not as much for looking good for men. Yeah, I gotcha. Okay, yeah, I kind of assumed that they thought men liked it.
I think they thought it was aesthetically pleasing because it made your lips look plumper. but didn't realize that, you know, it made the rest of your face look goofy and dumb. You know, like...
Yeah. Like you have to almost, your face gets a little scrunched up, kind of, automatically. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I get it. Mostly they just thought it looked good. And they wanted to be like, haha, my duck lips are sexier than your duck lips.
That would be weird. Ducks had lips.
Oh, fuck.
Give ducks actual lips. Give ducks lips. Give ducks lips. Oh, I don't know if we mentioned it before, but it was pretty fucked up. The minimum wage hike in California that doesn't count for Panera. They're like, California's going to have a new $20 minimum wage for everybody except Panera. Also,
yeah, his buddy owned a bunch of Panera stores.
Also,
and,
at this point,
contributed a couple $100,000
in California. $20 an hour is not a living wage, so it's not even really keeping up with inflation at that point.
Yeah, that is pretty fucking insane, dude.
Dude, at this point, $30 might be a living wage in California, just with the way costs are going. I don't know what the resolution is, but at a certain point, like they can't allow people to keep charging so much for rent. Like that needs to stop because most people don't earn enough to even pay rent.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people that are homeless in California right now just because they can't afford the rent. There's plenty of open places for them. They're just, no money. They don't earn any money compared to what the cost of living is.
Yeah. Well, isn't that what BlackRock is supposed to be trying to buy up all?
Well, yeah, they're the ones that bought up all this stuff. There's that's a lot of that stuff is sitting there empty.
Yeah, because they're trying to be able to drive up and set the market themselves at way more than the market should really be.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, a lot of the globalists are like, yeah, no, in the future you'll own nothing, and I'm like, that's fucking ridiculous.
I think we're awfully close to in the future. There's going to be no more globalists left alive. Is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Society, we're rapidly approaching that sort of crazy rage and depression mixture that usually sparks a violent, incredibly, way more than we've seen so far. So I think we're not far off from
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Again, I hope someone way smarter than me figures out some non-violent solution.
Well, if Trump gets back in and manages to get the immigrants deported and stops, playing nice with China and giving them all our money, that would be pretty fucking nice. That would be a pretty big bonus for us.
Yeah, dude.
And again, securing the border and kicking out the illegal aliens that have violated our borders so far over the last 10 years would increase things probably tenfold for everybody. Like your money would go 10 times further, your rent's going to be a lot cheaper. All the expenses of living would drop pretty quick.
Yeah, I still can't believe how much money they're throwing at these fucking illegal immigrants.
Oh yeah, they come into the country illegally and just get a $10,000 credit card for free, and then housing, cars, actual owning their own homes, getting to own their own home, just giving it to them.
Yeah, meanwhile, again, you
just giving it to the illegal aliens. It's insane.
Yeah, and how many fucking homeless people that were born here?
Yeah, and there are countries who have figured out the magical equation to get the homeless off of the streets almost entirely. It's never going to be 100%, but they've gotten the vast majority of the homeless people off of their streets. You don't make them get sober before you put them in housing.
Mm.
Because the reality is, it's Maslow's hierarchy of needs or whatever. If you're starving and you don't have shelter, doing drugs is just an escape from that, and there's
Yeah.
nothing to motivate
Yeah.
you whatsoever to stop doing those drugs. Even the promise of this vague promise that you might get shelter is just not enough to make you want to stop doing the drugs at that point.
Yeah, it's like your situation's so intolerable that the only thing that makes it even remotely tolerable
Is the
being
drugs,
fucked up all
yeah.
the time. Yeah.
And so it's like, as it turns out, if you actually just give them a place to live and then let them get to the point where they trust it and they're comfortable there, and then you start looking at sobriety and stuff, not as a requirement, but as a like, hey, do you want to
I got to
give this
get my
a
shit
shot?
together.
Do you want to give this a shot, getting sober and seeing where you can go from there? Like, do you want to do that or not? Like, it's up to you. Turns out that works way better. Weirdly.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And so it's like, it's very frustrating when you see that shit on YouTube and you're like, oh, Finland's got it fucking worked out. And we're over here like, nah, they can't be in a house if they're not sober. And it's like, well, they're never going to be sober because they live on the street. Like, that's the problem. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, just give them some kind of minimum where they fucking have a
exactly.
shower
It doesn't
regular.
have to be a really nice place. It could be like a one-bedroom hotel room, essentially.
Yeah.
Where they have like a bed, a dresser, a table, and a chair, and then like a bathroom, and that's it. Like that even just giving somebody that as a way to keep them off of the streets, so they're at least sleeping in a nice place with heat and air conditioning. Because depending on where you live, some places it's either too hot or too cold outside to sleep outside safely.
Yeah.
It's just it's sad. Oh, here I saw a video that
Yeah,
was
the fact that it's been
go
shown
ahead,
to
sorry.
work. No, I was just going to say the fact that it's been shown to work in other countries, but they're not bothering to try it.
Yeah,
It's fucking nuts.
and it's such a small change that you don't even have to change your infrastructure, right? You know what I mean? You just have to say like, all right, we're just not going to like require sobriety for somebody to be in a shelter. And I understand why they require it, and I get that there is a potential for violence, but there's potential for violence no matter what you do.
Yeah, they're more likely to get sober if you give them a stable fucking living environment. They're most likely to seek it out themselves without even being necessarily prompted.
And primarily what they try to do in these places, and I don't know if we have the kind of resources to do it, is they try to give people like their own little space, their own little room, as opposed to like a shelter, which is like one big room where a bunch of beds and everybody just sleeps in the beds in the big room.
Yeah, it's like a hostel basically. There's a bunch of cots everywhere. Yeah.
Well, no,
like multiple people staying in one. Not even that, huh?
No, they're trying to give like their own little room for each person.
Yeah, no, I'm saying the fucked up thing is to have a bunch of people in fucking one spot, as opposed to giving everyone their own living space.
Yeah. It's tough either way. Like it's a lot of resources to fix up and clean up people that are just not putting any resources into the system in the first place. So like it's double costing. But I think it's better than having homeless people, right? Like I think everybody would agree. And it's to say like, hey, you know what? Let's take our military out of as many of these other countries as we can, and save billions and billions of dollars there, and take those billions and billions of dollars and use that to like create housing for like the homeless, so that everybody has a place to sleep at night, where they won't like die, from being exposed.
Yeah, sounds pretty fucking solid.
And on a completely different note,
Yeah.
I saw the weirdest. Do you see those videos on YouTube where it's like a how-to, and you're like, "That's great. Why?" And it was just like how to
Yeah,
refill
the
those
salt and pepper
disposable
thing.
salt and pepper grinders, and I'm like, why would you need to do that? Like, what's the point?
Yeah, no, I saw you posted it, but I did not bother watching it.
Don't bother
I'm just
watching
like,
it. It
yeah,
was
it's
more
pretty
of like
fucking
a
silly.
like just why
Yeah.
is this even a video? Like, who needs to refill their salt and pepper grinders? It's a
Yeah.
throwaway one. Like,
Sure,
because
yeah.
you can buy a $5 pepper grinder or a salt grinder, and then not have to use this cheap, shitty refill looking one over and over. Like,
Yeah, it seems like a lot of fucking work for something that's not really a problem.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, I could do that, or just go buy another one that's cheap as fuck.
Yep. And then there was the other lady who who was fucking just baffled me that she was wearing gloves. It was like a cooking video, right? And so it starts off.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
not wearing gloves. She's rolling out the those croissant rolls that you buy, the Pillsbury ones in the can, and you pull them out and you got to roll them up. She was rolling sheets of that
Right.
out, like a sheet of it out for like a pocket sandwich kind of thing. And so she
Right.
didn't wear gloves when she rolled it out. Then she put on gloves to put like cheese and meat, and then she took off one glove to put the next layer of cheese on there. And you're at that point, you're just like, why did you even put them on your fucking hands? What was the point?
Yeah. Yeah, if you didn't have them on to begin with, why halfway through?
And then you took them off,
Yeah, that's
and then you
fucking
took one of them off so you could sprinkle the cheese with your bare hand, because apparently you couldn't with a gloved hand, which makes no goddamn sense, and completely. Now there's no reason for you to have ever put them on in the first place, because I mean, it's just the whole thing was just baffling. I was like, what the fuck is with the gloves? Why? You know, like nothing
Yeah.
she was handling was really wet or gross. There was no like smelly things like super like smelly garlic or onion or like cheese or something. It was just such a
Right.
weird one where it was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, lady? Why do you even own those? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, no, it seems odd. It's like either wear the glove like the whole time or don't fucking bother.
right?
Yeah, that's very odd.
Or if you're cutting like some really gross things or things that'll stain your hands, like beets, or you know you don't want to get
Yeah.
you're cutting up some super spicy peppers and you don't want to like go pee later and regret it. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I can understand that, like wearing gloves for that. That would make perfect sense. But it was just like the way she did it was so bizarre and haphazard. It was like somebody told you that wearing gloves makes you look professional, so you just decided to put them on at some point for no reason.
Yeah. Like that stuck. Like the rationale behind it didn't, but you're just like, oh yeah, no, I gotta put on gloves, start handling this other stuff, but not this. Yeah, it's yeah. Oh, the video I sent you of the eggnog where they took like the cookie tins and
Yeah,
poured
that
like
looked pretty
eggnog in it.
fucking.
And all
That looked
that
pretty
shit.
fucking bomb, dude. That would look like a really good recipe for like. I would like to try that. That would taste good.
Yeah. Did you notice what happened towards the end though?
Nah.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if you watched the whole thing or not, but towards the end, in one continuous shot, she fucking grabs her cat and is like holding it up and petting it shit, and then goes right back to the food.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Oh, usually I would notice that.
Yeah.
That's really gross.
Yeah. Oh, people in the comment section noticed.
I bet they did.
They're like, "What the fuck? You didn't wash your hands or anything? Like you fucking were petting your cat and all this shit, and you went right back to fucking handling food?"
Yeah, like your cat licks
Yeah.
its own butt and then licks its own fur. You just touched its fur and then started cooking your food again. Like, that's real weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fucking crazy, dude.
Like if I were getting ready to cook and I washed my hands, and then like one of the dogs came up, like when we had dogs still, and I ended up petting him and giving the dog like scratches and stuff, and then sending it on its way, I would wash my hands again before I started cooking after that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you just,
So
you
yeah,
just
it's
touch the dog. It's
crazy.
like nothing against the dog, but they're not the cleanest of animals. And again, with the
Yeah,
ball
yeah,
licking and the butt licking, they like licking their butts and licking their
yeah. Plus,
fur and
again,
shit.
so much fucking, so much like dirt and shit gets stuck in their fur, man.
Yep.
Yeah, like the grand puppy dude. After him being here for I don't know a couple few hours, there's just dirt all over the fucking the floor and shit because his fur just picks up a shitload of dirt.
Oh yeah, no, it makes sense. Yeah, I know the husky picked up a lot of dirt because she was such a long haired dog, and then
Yeah,
the Finnish laphound or whatever we had, the one like fucked up dog my mom got from like because he was kind of like crazy and shit. He had like
right.
an extra long, extra wiry fur coat, and it was that shit was a nightmare. We just
A
had to cut it
nightmare.
all off once a year. Like at the beginning of summer, we'd shave him because it was like he just the heat was too much with the fur coat.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense.
But that
Poor
that
little
fur was
feller.
so wiry and hard and like stiff that it just picked up so much filth.
Yeah, just fucking attracted it, basically. Just clings to
Mm-hmm.
him.
It was bad. Well, and there's then the poor dog. It's not the dog's fault that he's not getting bathed on a regular basis or anything like that. But it was just like
Mm.
you definitely did not want to touch the
Like,
dog and
it's a
then eat
problem.
food or cook food for everybody else. That would be unpleasant. That'd be uncool.
Yeah, no. Anytime I'm watching the grand puppy, I definitely before I eat any, even touch any fucking food.
Ugh. Oh, I saw a great recipe for cornbread. They
Oh
took
yeah.
3 eggs, 2 of those little blue boxes of cornbread mix, and a 16-ounce fucking bottle of ranch dressing.
What the
Mix
fuck?
that shit up and
Oh,
baked
that's
it.
interesting.
It was one of those YouTube short
Interesting.
guys that does like weird old recipes, and he loved them. He said they tasted great, like ranch Doritos. But I'm not making a fucking pan of cornbread that's gonna have a 16-ounce bottle of ranch dressing in it. I'm just not. I
Yeah,
can't. I
I'm
can't
thinking
do it.
for sure. Yeah, like I believe you that it might be good, but nah, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't believe it, actually. Yeah, that seems like an odd combination.
Yeah. Oh, did you see the Adam Driver video I posted?
No, I didn't watch it. I meant to. I
He
think I watch
literally
almost every
says
other.
he literally says because people will come up to me and be like, "You killed Han Solo," and his response to them is, "No, I had nothing to do with it. Wokeness killed Han Solo."
Oh fuck.
And I was
Yeah. No,
like, you know
Harrison
what?
Ford.
Kudos to him because I
Harrison
never
Ford.
had any objection to him as a person. I just thought that the writing in that movie was fucking terrible, and that physically he did not have the right look for that role.
Yeah, yeah, like a fucking emo Darth Vader. Like, what the fuck? Who
Yeah,
the
it
fuck
was it
thought that
was
was a
like
good
I
idea?
could see him in any number of other stuff, and he seems like I'm sure he's a great guy and a good actor, but it was just not the role
Yeah,
for him.
yeah, no, it didn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, from what I heard, like people literally when they first saw him in the movie in the theaters were like literally laughing. Like there were people that were
I
literally
laughed out
laughing
loud
at
in the
how
theater when
fucking
I saw him in the first day in the theater. No, I absolutely did, and I was not the only one.
yeah.
There was like an
Okay, yeah.
embarrassed laugh in like most of the audience. Like it was just weird,
Yeah,
and then
that's not
and it just
surprising.
immediately died down. It was like, haha, oh,
Like, oh, they're serious.
oh
Holy
shit,
fuck.
that's real. Oh damn. And then you got like everybody kind of looking around, like I guess we go with it. Like I mean, we
Right.
don't have a choice. I mean, it's what more
I guess
can we
he's the
say?
villain. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Adam Driver seems, I have no issue with the dude personally. Seems like a decent human being, actually.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's like hating the actor and the actress from Twilight for being those roles or whatever. It's like, no, they just wanted to make money. Like, there's no reason to be angry at the actors. Like, that's silly.
Yeah, that's very odd to not be able to separate the fact that they're just playing a role. Yeah, or that they're responsible for what happened in the movie that you didn't like. Like they're find the director if anybody. But yeah, or the writer, or whoever the fuck. Yeah, that's they're pretty low on the list of who's responsible for what you fucking hate about the movie or whatever.
Yep. Somebody
obviously,
else
it's silly to fucking hate
they're
anybody.
They're just collecting a paycheck, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, they're just doing their job, doing what they're told.
What was it? Kiefer Sutherland. There was a YouTube series I was watching. I watched a few of the videos on it where it's like they talk to iconic actors or actresses and have them talk about their most famous roles. And so Kiefer Sutherland has played a lot of bad guys and a lot of good guys. He's played very much. He's played both sides of that on many different occasions. And I think he's an excellent actor. I think he plays both sides of that very, very well. Like, I loved him as the bad guy in, like, Lost Boys. I loved him as the good guy in Jumpin' Jack Flash. Or no, not Jumpin' Jack Flash. What was the movie? Oh, man, that's going to bother me now.
Free Jack? I don't know. It's the only other one I could think with Jack. Wait, is he in Free Jack?
It's the one where he's a hippie kid, but he's an FBI agent.
24? The show?
No. Hold on.
He was in
I'm looking it up.
Yeah,
Flashback.
Huh?
So in Flashback, Kiefer Sutherland plays John Buckner. He's an FBI agent who has to transport a guy from the 70s that was the big deal in like one small thing in the 70s. He was like a criminal from the 70s. And it turns out that, his mom, grown up or had raised him on a hippie commune, and, he was really like rebelling from his own hippie roots as being this FBI agent, and he ends up being won over to the hippie guy's side and helps him get away. That kind of shit.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that, actually.
It's a really fun movie. But, Kiefer Sutherland is a great like character in that. He's an extremely good guy in that, which is fun, which is weird because a lot of times you'll see actors are either really good at being the villain or really good at being the hero, but usually not good at being both.
Right.
But one of the things he said is, in America more than any other place on the country, people believe you are the characters you pretend to be for your, as your job. He's like, in my career, I've pretended to be many, many different people, none of which are even, close to who I really am. But people will accost me on the streets and be angry at me for being this villain and doing these terrible things in this movie, and he says it's absurd, but that's their reality. Whatever, you can't do anything about it. Kind of thing.
That's fucking scary to know that there's people like that are that fucking out of
those
tune with
people
fucking
get
reality.
to vote.
Yeah. Those people are not locked up in mental institutions.
They get to decide partially how this country is run. Yeah,
they have a say. They have a say in the fucking. Oh god, dude. Yeah, that's nuts, dude. Yeah, it's kind of like back when Gilligan's Island was on. There were people like, "Why can't you guys help them? You guys obviously know where they're at. Like, why aren't you helping them get off the island?" Like, there was a lot of that apparently. Like enough that was notable to mention it. They didn't understand that they weren't actually fucking marooned on an island.
Yeah.
Dude, it's fucking nuts, dude.
Well, you remember War of the Worlds on the radio? Apparently, fucking the whole world
at least
thought
kind of
everything was coming to an end.
Yeah, that kind of made sense because
they didn't announce it as a radio play. It was just turned on like it was a real emergency thing. Yeah, but still, it was just, you know, like, there's a lot of people that really believe that shit too, and it was kind of dumb. So,
Yeah, yeah. Like I get like a few minutes maybe, but yeah, after a few minutes, you should probably realize that it's not. It's just a fucking show.
you would think, like, looking outside and not seeing, like, you know, war and
Yeah,
everything going on and flashing lights and smoke and.
yeah. Like yeah, like there's probably people that lived in the cities that were mentioned that are like, oh my god, I guess it just hasn't gotten to my neighborhood yet. I
Yeah.
gotta get out of here. Yeah, that's
Nah,
fucking
if they were
nuts.
letting off ordnance in your city, you'd fucking know, buddy.
Yeah, yeah, you would definitely be hearing
Yeah,
something,
there's
feeling some
nowhere you're gonna
shockwaves or
live in
something.
San Francisco. You could live on the one side of San Francisco, and they could be setting off ordnance on the farthest possible other side that's still in San Francisco, away from you, and you
Yeah, you're
definitely
gonna know.
fucking hear it. You're gonna hear it. It's not gonna be, yeah, it's not gonna be covered up by your fucking TV or your radio.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts, dude. Yeah, the Gilligan's Island one in particular.
Yeah, you guys
They
know where
actually have
they're at.
people
Why don't you
writing
get them
in.
back?
Yeah, you got all the cameras filming them and everything. Why aren't you helping them get back? Like, holy shit, dude.
How can you
So
be
you're
that
aware that
fucking
cameras are
dumb?
filming them, but you're not. Yeah, and that the film is obviously making it back to civilization. But you think they're just filming them and not saving them just for the entertainment value? That's just, dude, it's fucking insane, dude. Fucking. Oh, God. Yeah. Too many fucking overly credulous sheep, I guess.
Well, there's,
And just,
you know, uh, what was it? I think Joe Rogan made a mention of it, like, um, the average intelligence is not really that high.
yeah.
You know, the average there really isn't that many really genuinely smart people in the world. There's a lot of really dumb people, and they're just running around doing stuff. You know.
Yeah, just utterly incapable of any kind of even what you would think is average, you know, comprehension of
There's
things.
one of the girls I know from karaoke, and I'm sure I've said this before, like scoffed at the idea of reading as if people that read are idiots.
Yeah, yeah, that's very odd, dude.
Like I can understand if you're like,
Yeah,
oh no, I can't get myself into books or something, sure. But acting like,
yeah,
oh yeah, anybody who does that is a fucking dummy. That's
yeah,
scary. Like that's a
yeah.
scary level of
Reading
dumb.
books. Yeah,
Oh no, hers was like, as if I read
the
books.
arrogantly ignorant, the proudly ignorant.
Yes, proudly ignorant. That's a really good way of putting it.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah, those people, they're allowed to vote.
Yeah,
They're
they
allowed to
have a
have
say in the
children.
democratic process. Yeah, dude, the fact that, yeah, like Idiocracy, when it came out, I mean, I still love the movie, I guess, but like, it seemed like ridiculous. Like that was like, you know what I mean? It seemed absurd and ridiculous for people to be that fucking
Oh yeah, yeah.
stupid.
You wouldn't think that it would be real, but like, nah. It turns out it
Yeah.
was more prophetic than you might have wanted it to be.
Yeah, it's actually kind of depressing now at how
Yeah.
prophetic that ended up being.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fucking. Ugh. Like, God damn, this isn't as funny as it used to be. But
Yeah,
yeah, a
it's
bunch
harder
of
to
dumb
watch
people
now because
fucking.
you're like seeing the result.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When that didn't seem like it would actually happen, it's fucking hilarious. But now it is, and you're like, God damn, the world just sucks.
Yep. Yeah, there are some scary idiots out there.
It's pretty fucking sad, man. Or what the other one that I just saw that I didn't really think of all this time, I guess
Huh.
because Idiocracy was even more spot on, but Demolition Man.
Oh yeah, I've seen references to that lately.
Yeah, because
Because
that is
they
definitely
really
another
were
one.
kind of
We're
like
like, oh,
they really were kind of woke in that movie.
yeah, absolutely,
Like you
man.
weren't allowed to swear, you weren't allowed to like nobody was allowed to actually have sex. They were just like engaging in some sort of weird virtual reality stimulation or something. I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah, yeah, like you're only fucking in the virtual world, but it somehow kind of works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I've always kind of fucking wondered about that. Video games, like, is there eventually going to be a video system that essentially puts you into like a dreamlike state, and you're playing the video game as if you're the actual person in the game?
That would be really interesting.
Yeah, dude,
Especially if
I've
they
thought
could
about it for like
access
fucking
dreams, because one of the
yeah,
things
like they can
about
put you in like
dreams
a
is
REM
time
state.
dilation, right? So you
Yeah,
could
yeah,
potentially spend 20 years in a dreamlike state and it only be like a couple of minutes in real life. Like, I mean, just
yeah, yeah. It takes up almost no time at all. Yeah, because you notice it, like, especially me, bunch of alarms and fucking snooze things before I actually get up. So yeah, you go back to sleep in the middle of a dream. The dream starts back up. The alarm goes off like 9 minutes later. But yeah, I just had like at least 30 or 40 minutes worth of fucking dream shit going on.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing. Oh shit! I got my phone. But yeah, I mean, I'm like that. I wonder if that's actually possible. Not now, obviously. But yeah, putting in and not only being able to put you into the REM state to make it possible, but then able to actually put the game environment in, and you know what I mean, to be able to interact with
Control
the
the
game environment.
what you're seeing and what you're feeling in the dream.
Yeah, like it seems like it would be great for games, but terrifying for like reality as a whole, because that could be a very effective mind control
Well,
thing, I guess.
that would be a easier system to do for like the idea of a sex robot too. Like it'd be way
Yeah,
harder
that'd
to
be all
build an actual
virtual.
sex robot than to like use a dream to give you like a wet dream, essentially. You know, like a computer to control.
Yeah.
If you can control dreams, that would be like way simpler than building sex robots.
Yeah, yeah, you wouldn't need any physical, a doll or whatever. And you can just dream up whatever the fuck, whatever chickie you want.
Yeah. Well, that makes me wonder. There is people on VR chat who will sell time doing erotic roleplay to other people. So,
Oh
like,
wow.
basically, you can pay somebody to simulate sex with you in you know
The VR.
in VR. Now, should that count as prostitution?
No, if they're not actually physically. I mean, kind of. You mean illegal?
But also consider this: they have devices you can hook up to your computer with Bluetooth that will get you off, boy and girl, and in time to stuff that's going on that you're using in the game.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Like,
It's
it's
called Love
basically a thing you
Sense
put
or
on your
something like
dick.
that. I think is the big popular one. I'm sure there's more than one, but Love Sense is the one that I've heard about most.
Yeah, like the chick will be fucking a virtual dick or sucking a virtual dick, and you'll feel that sensation on the spot on your dick.
Yeah, it's usually done with like vibrators and stuff, but you can still get off on a vibrator even if you're a dude. Like that'll get you off.
Yeah.
But they also have like machines that like thrust and stuff like that. Or,
Yeah,
like,
for the
vacuums
women's.
and all sorts of wacky shit. There's a fuck ton of those out there now. It's kind of interesting because it used to just be like if you were a girl, there were plenty of sex toys. If you were a dude, it was like your hand or a pocket pussy. You know what I mean? Like that was it.
Yeah.
In fact, they even have now like with the virtual porn. What's it called? haptics, I think it is, because I think they named it after this, because there's haptic feedback stuff where it's like gloves or a suit that you wear, like a suit top, not like a whole body suit, but where you'll feel like pressure and heat and cool, and some extent I think they can simulate rough and smooth. So it's in its very much infancy as far as being able to feel things from VR in real life with these haptic feedback. But there's there's virtual reality porn, because obviously anything they make, they're going to make porn of it. Any technological advance will be used for porn eventually.
Usually sooner than later. Yeah, it's usually one of the first things.
Haptic devices that you can buy or that are 3D printed that you can buy, where it will actually simulate a reasonable amount of the movement and the thrusting on that you're seeing in the screen with like a sex toy on your dick.
Yeah.
So if the girl's leaning to the right, it'll actually lean the sex toy the same angle in the right and then thrust that way, kind of thing. So that's actually coming along pretty soon. But so what if you were to hook that kind of thing up to the guy, and then you hook up like the vibrator or like a sex machine on the girl or something, a similar kind of thing. Like that seems to me like that wouldn't be that drastically different from actual sex, but I guess it wouldn't be prostitution because it's not physically connected. But then what happens if it's like a 40-year-old person and a 13-year-old person? Then do we still consider that child abuse? Because they're not physically touching.
Yeah, fuck, man. That's an interesting moral and legal.
Because we're rapidly approaching the point where that might genuinely be a concern. I'm sure there's plenty of people who have taken advantage of teenagers using the love sense that have gotten off. And I'm sure there's equally a number of people that have pretended to be that teenager to get off on some other pervert. There's all sorts of weird, fucked up people out there. But, at some point we're going to have to look at... Because I know there was this silly thing about the metaverse... rape case, where the girl was raped in VR and everybody's like, turn the fucking headset off, dummy. Why are the police investigating anything if she's too dumb to just turn off the headset or block these people? Then, that's on her. Yeah. Because no one actually touched her, so she didn't actually get raped.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a lot of kind of difficult moral implications, dude.
Yeah, I was wondering that because I saw that some of that stuff, and I'm like, the first thing you think of is the people that are the prostitutes in VR. Hey, they could use that to get people off, and frankly, I don't see a problem with regular prostitution. I don't think that should be illegal. Yeah. I don't care. It's not my cup of tea. Not interested, but there's no reason other people shouldn't be allowed to do it just because I don't want to. That's dumb.
Yeah, consenting adults should be able to do whatever.
Yeah,
as long as it's not, again,
I could see the appeal of going to get a massage if you were getting a happy ending. I can't see the appeal of getting a massage any other way. It just seems dumb to me. You're just gonna go somewhere and some lady or some dude is gonna rub your back and you're gonna be like, yeah, that feels really good, thanks, and then leave. That just seems like a waste of money. But,
it should be illegal to not get a happy ending. God damn it.
Yeah, yeah, for real. I don't care if people do whatever they want. I'm not going to go pay for a massage, though. That's for sure. But I could understand more that you would get one if you were getting a hand job at the end, because it'd be like, oh, okay, well, you're going to get rubbed down, and then they're going to get you off. I can understand why people would pay money for that. That makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, the whole virtual thing is going to be an interesting thing to have to fucking hash out.
Well, and also, you wouldn't know what the other person even looked like. So it could be a hideous chud on the other side and you wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even have to actually be doing anything sexual. They could just be using a sex toy on on a sensor to make it think that it's being done.
Yeah, they might not even be doing anything. It's just all stimulated.
Mm.
The fuck? Alright. I don't know whose dog that is. There's a fucking dog in our yard.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, looks like a fucking Rottweiler.
There's a few dogs in our neighborhood that every once in a while will get out and, like, if our garage door was open, they'll walk in and hang out in the garage because there used to be dog food years ago.
Alright, I don't know whose dog this is. What's wrong, puppy? You okay? What's going on? Are you okay? You okay? Poor dog. Oh, he's soaked. Fuck. I don't know if you'll let me. You okay? Dude, he looks like he's shivering, dude. I don't know if I should get a towel. You okay, puppers? I'm sorry. You gotta. Hold on, he's gotta fucking. Where you going, Pop? Damn, poor dog.
Weird. Why
You
would
okay?
he be soaking wet?
Well, it's raining.
Oh.
That's fine. Yeah, sorry. I guess I left that out. All right.
Yeah,
now
I was like,
just
you're in
listen.
Arizona. Is there water there?
No, today's a pretty dreary day. The sun's out now, at least. He's out in the sun, but it looked like he was fucking just shaking. He's wagging his tail, but he's soaked. Fuck. It's at least not windy anymore.
No.
He has a collar, so let me see. Now he's off in the yard. See if he comes back. Alright, he seems okay. He's not really shivering. Hey, puppy.
Yeah, I know the husky was always happy when it was cold as fuck.
Yeah. Well, they're from like Alaska and that shit, right?
Yep.
Yeah, no, the grandpa, even the golden retriever, the grandpuppy, if it gets over like 70, he seems like he's overheating. Like he tries to avoid the sun as soon as it gets like over 70 degrees.
Oh, yeah. Well, golden retrievers have long hair, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, I think the labs are a little shorter hair, but yeah, golden retrievers definitely have some pretty long hair that sheds fucking everywhere. Because I remember hearing about it. As puppies, they don't. So I'm like, what are you guys talking about with the hair? And then as he got longer, extra hair started growing out. Yeah, he's definitely sniffing all the spots where the grandpuppy pisses.
Maybe he's trying to make a
seems
friend.
okay. Yeah, he came up to me and let me, pet him and shit.
Oh, I mean, he's looking
was
for your
wagging his
dog to
tail.
hang out. He's like, there's gonna be another dog to hang
Yeah.
out here with. I smell it.
You doing all right, Poppers? Yeah, that's definitely another spot where he pees all the time. I know, the puppy's not here. I know. Let me see if I can find... Maybe their collar has the number on it. That's pretty popular now, where you just get a collar with like the dog's name and then a fucking phone number of the owner.
Yeah.
You all right, Poppers? Yep, that's where the grandpuppy pees too. You doing okay? Okay. All right. Yeah.
All of our pets always had that. Their name and the
like
phone
their
number
name and the
collar.
owner. Yeah. You okay, Poppers? Okay, he seems all right. I was a little worried earlier, but yeah, he's still pretty soaked, but he's not really shivering or anything. Hold on, I gotta ask my mom if she knows whose dog this is. Because I know the neighbor's dog. Fucking, there's a way for him to get up on some shit that's right by the fence and fucking jumps into our fucking yard. Like it's happened a lot. All right, hold on. I'm gonna mute just for a minute, dude.
No worries.
All right. Yeah, sorry, man. I gotta take care of this, I think.
No, I get it.
Oh,
Yeah,
God damn it.
you don't want the dog to like get sick.
Alright.
Also, I'm kind of curious now. I want to know. I want to know where the dog came from. I want to know whose dog it is. Oh, I completely forgot to pull up the stream so I could see if people were watching. Oh, I don't even know if the audio's right. Oh no. Oh, I don't even know if the audio's right. Oh, that's a long delay.
Okay, sorry, man. Yeah, my mom has no idea. I looked at the collar. There's no identification, phone number, or anything
Oh
on the
man.
collar. I mean, he's at least wearing a collar, so that's good, I guess. Somebody does own him, and he's not like fucking aggressive. Like he's let me pet him and shit.
Oh yeah, that is a good point. Yeah,
Oh,
at least you don't have. You still have your face. And then, like bite your head off.
yeah. God damn it. This is a drawback to not ever interacting with our neighbors, I guess. No idea whose dog this is.
Oh yeah. Now I'm curious too, though.
Alright, he seems well enough. I'm gonna bring out some water. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna bring out at least some water. No, he's got water. He's fine.
There's water
He
falling
doesn't
from
seem
the
to be hurt.
sky.
Yeah, there's definitely plenty of water for me to drink, I suppose. Although I don't know how clean it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
dogs don't care. My dog will fucking, my grandpuppy will drink the water out of like a fucking, any big lid that has rainwater in it.
Hmm. Oh, it's interesting that uh, um, dogs and cats have so what do you call it? Different standards for water. Like dogs will drink out of like
Oh,
any kind of standing water, whereas cats are almost always driven to drink running water.
interesting. Yeah, cats are pretty picky.
Right? Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah. I assume dogs are just more like our digestive system is more suited to handling not ideal water.
I assume.
Like their system.
I hope so.
Yeah, their system is just like water. My body's not gonna. This isn't gonna actually poison me the way it would anyone. No,
Mm-mm.
puppy. I don't know what to do, puppy. Oh, he might be leaving. Jesus, please don't get hit by a fucking car or something. Dude, how do you not have any identification?
You wonder, you gotta wonder. Some people just don't fucking care about their animals, man.
Yeah, the dog at least
It's really
seems.
annoying because it's like,
Why have
I don't
it?
want
Dude?
to
I don't
own
get it.
pets. Like I really don't like owning pets. Right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, if I did, I would at least take care of them.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get to just, take a pass on, like, taking care of your animal.
Mm. Yeah, no, it seems very odd to have an animal and then neglect it. Like to choose to have the animal and then like, yeah, just leave it out in either really hot or really cold, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
All
That's
right, he's
all it
off the
is.
property at least. Fuck, I hope he's going back home. Whatever he's doing. All right, he's out of the yard at least. He crossed the street successfully. Shit, is he from that neighborhood? Oh, I wouldn't go in there. I hope he maybe is he from there? What the fuck? Yeah, the neighbor across the street, the ones that I regularly accuse of being coyotes for, human smuggling or whatever. There's no gates keeping their dogs in their yard.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, yeah. They don't really come out of the yard very often, so it's not generally a problem. But dude, I remember one time, it was a couple of years ago, a guy was coming by on a bike, and the dog came out yapping at him, and the guy like fucking like ran at him with his bike. Dude, it was pretty fucking funny because he just I guess fed up with stupid fucking dogs
Oh yeah, we had a
constantly
dog that was
yapping at him.
super vicious in the neighborhood like that, where the owner didn't keep it in the yard, but it was actively like it seemed like it was going to attack somebody. It was like it wasn't like the typical like dog barking just because dogs bark at people.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna attack anything I come across. Like that's a
It
likely
was like
situation.
get any closer and there's going to be some teeth involved for sure.
Yeah, yeah, that's fucking scary, dude.
And that was really a problem because you know kids in the neighborhood and here's this asshole like he's not keeping the dog like behind a fence or leashed up like he should, kept getting off the leash. And it's like I wasn't worried about me because I'm 6 foot dude. This dog's not gonna take me out. Like that's not happening.
Yeah.
It just
Right.
it was a medium sized dog. So like if it was like a Rottweiler or a pit bull, like a big dog, hey
Yeah.
maybe it wins, maybe I win. But like a medium size, like a small to medium
Yeah.
sized dog, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win because I can pick that dog up
Yeah.
if it bites me by the head with my other hand and smash it against the ground until it's dead. And unlike most
Yeah.
people, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna have a problem doing that. Like it's like, oh no, if the dog starts biting, it's me or the dog, and I win every time. Yeah, like I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not gonna feel bad
Yeah, I'm
about
not
it
going to
later.
be gentle about it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna feel bad about it either.
Yeah.
It's like, nah. This is you made this into a situation where there was no other out. Sorry, dude. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
it never fails to bother me like that. It's like those poor fucking animals. It's not their fault if their owners are just fucking jokes.
Yeah. 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 I just never understood. Like, I've never really heard any of them ask, like the owners, why do you bother having a dog?
Yeah,
You're
that's
literally
one.
just ignoring it, letting it be malnourished, not always giving it fucking water.
What was
Yeah, like with my grandpappy, I bring the water dish where if I take him in the side yard or I'm sitting out front, the water dish is coming with, and usually whenever I go back inside or whatever, I throw the water out and get like new water for him, even though it would be fucking,
nice.
He would be totally fine with it. So yeah, I'll go back, go back inside. I'll dump it out before I go inside, fill it up, put it in the room with us, and yeah, you see dogs where they're like not bothering, not even, have no idea the dog hasn't had water for days at a time probably. That's skin and bones because they're not feeding it regularly.
Yup.
Like, why, dude? Why do you have a fucking dog? Like, give that dog up. Like,
Usually
it's probably
because it makes them feel good to torture shit.
yeah.
I think there's people that get off on their dog being miserable.
Yeah, that makes sense. Jeez.
I feel like the laws around like how people treat their animals need to be updated severely. Like we're not in the fucking
Yeah.
pioneer days anymore. It's not cool to just go out and shoot your dog in the backyard. Like if somebody's dog is clearly
it seems
suffering
like-
from neglect, they should lose that dog and then not be allowed to buy more dogs. You know what I mean? Like that seems like a pretty reasonable
Yeah.
thing. I don't think a lot of people would argue with that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, if they do. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like
Then
the
they could
people that
start
are
facing some
arguing
fucking
for
action.
defund the police are not the people that are going to follow the laws. They're criminals. They want the police defunded so they can go break the law. Nothing to do with
Yeah,
any sort of
yeah.
moral question. Nothing at all whatsoever. They're not there to like things morally. They would break the law if they could, so they want to, or they're part of the cult.
Yeah. Yeah, they're either the ones that want to get away with shit, or they're the ones that don't fucking have any ability to understand the ramifications of
Yeah.
their fucking beliefs.
Well, I think a lot of them would be more than happy to break the law if they thought they could get away with it, and they're hoping that this will give them that boost.
Yeah, yeah.
The thing
Yeah,
that
and
gets
then
me
some of
is
them
like,
don't understand that people are going to break the law if they can get away with it. Like they seem to be under the same. Well, they don't need that many police. They're just causing problems, and people would all people will obey the law anyway. Like no, there's people that will do what they can get away with. They'll do what they think they can get away with.
yeah, there's a certain percentage of the population that are just bad people.
Yeah, yeah. It's that kind of fucking idealistic fucking nonsense. Complete lack of realism or pragmatism of what the real world consequences are of your fucking stupid beliefs.
Right.
Yeah,
And here's the thing:
to
it's not about race
bad
that that makes me want to enforce the laws and keep these people in check. It's just because nobody
Yeah.
deserves to be the victim of those people. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
whatever color the person is, it's the victim. Whatever color the person is, it's the aggressor. It's wrong. It's not about race.
Yeah.
It's not about
Yeah.
gender.
Yeah. Yeah, and the nonsense about them just being in fucked up situations. Like, there's plenty of people that are in the same or worse that are not becoming criminals.
Yeah, I've had probably.
And it's not exclusive to black people. Poor white people do plenty of fucking crime too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've had at least $1,000 stolen from me in various different ways by various different means over the course of my life. I'm a little more astute than most people when it comes to like not fucking falling for scams. Because I'm sure there's a lot of people that number's higher. There's probably also a lot of people that number is smaller.
What's up, puppy?
But I think that's a fairly decent amount of money. To
Sorry,
stay
the
down
dog's
at.
back.
But I know I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy fucking getting that shit stolen from me.
Yeah, the dog's back. I don't know if you heard me, but
is he back? Oh, okay. Tell me how that works out. I'm curious.
I'm just gonna put some water out for him. He came up all like panting and shit. I don't know what the fuck happened, but I'm gonna at least give him water.
Huh.
Alright, so I guess he's not the neighbor's dog. You need some water? Alright, I don't know if he understands water. Water? Alright. He was definitely thirsty. Holy shit, poor dog. Damn, he's really going at it.
Oh, he really did need water. Okay.
Yeah. He's still licked, dude. He's still drinking.
Damn.
Hey, you got drink it all. That better? Yeah. Yeah, see no identification on him. Hey. No, puppy, I'm sorry. I don't know what to do for you. I don't know what to do.
Have you considered eating the dog?
Dog's a fine meal.
Yeah, it'd make a great meal.
Seems healthy. Doesn't seem... I don't know where you go, puppy. I don't know where you belong. I don't know what kind of dog this is. It's kind of got the, like Doberman, You know the ridges above the eyes or whatever that are like a different color? Like it's mostly
Yeah.
black, but it's got some tan and a little bit of white. I know about that. Poor fuckers. But he's got a long snout. Dobermans don't have the. Wait, I always mix up Rottweilers. It's more Rottweiler. I'm sorry. No,
More rot.
I think. Ah, fuck, dude. I can't. I always mix Dobermans and Rottweilers up. I'm pretty sure that's a Rottweiler. I'm thinking of. It's a bigger one with a shorter snout. I think. Let me see. Yeah, he looks kind of Rottweilery, but he's got a long snout, a long, thin snout. And Rottweiler's got a more fat, like wide, shorter
Oh,
snout.
okay.
All right, so he might be part rot and part something else. I have no idea. He's probably a mix of something. Poor puppy. Fuck, dude. Like, it's not raining now, so I think. Alright, he wandered off a little, it looks like.
Well, odds
He's
are,
definitely sniffing all the spots where the
if it's
grand puppy
somebody's
peed.
dog, odds are he knows where he's got to go. My guess is
Yeah.
when it starts getting somewhere around 10, 15 minutes of dinner time, he's gonna start looking for that house. So
yeah, dogs are usually pretty good at being able to find their way home. Unless he's just way far away from where he's supposed to be, I don't know.
no
Yeah, I
idea.
remember that happened one time. Yeah, when me and my son were riding around the areas here, there was a fucking dog that was stuck out in the rain like that. And we were like going into the neighborhood trying to figure out if anybody knew whose fucking dog it was.
Oh, that's always a fun adventure.
Yeah, yeah. Never really did. We're like, fuck, should we take him with us? Like, I don't know what the fuck, you know what I mean? Like, it's, and then it was, like, now it's not raining at all. And the sun's mostly out.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the question: is do you take the dog in to your house, knowing that it might not go back to its owner's house because it's in your house all of a sudden? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fuck, now he's right along the road.
Ooh, yeah, that's always
Get across, don't stand in the middle of the fucking road. God. Yeah, like I'm hoping that I see somebody driving by looking for the fucking dog.
yeah. Well, you know, maybe they're at work.
Oh, where's he going? He's running somewhere. Okay, he latched onto something. Okay, alright, he's out of sight.
Oh, maybe the owner's calling.
Maybe. Let's see, there's a truck that stopped right there. Oh wait, I don't think... I can't tell. Let's see what that truck is. It's definitely stopped right there. It's also got something behind it, like it's just picking up stuff. Yeah, they're just picking shit up. It's not their...
Not their dog.
Alright, I gotta stop. I gotta stop being concerned with this dude. It's really fucking distracting. Sorry, man.
I gotta say, I'm
right,
honestly, I'm invested in this dog now. Like, where does this dog come from? Where is its owner? Like, I'm kind of interested in finding out, but I know I'll never know.
Yeah, they're not. I don't think that's the owner. Yeah, they're just picking shit up. It looks like some kind of recycling thing or something. I assume. Okay. All right. What else? The dog is a significant way down the street in some other yard.
Dog
So
just goes
the
out and hangs out with people
story
occasionally
will
for
have
no
to wait.
fun, no reason, just chilling.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping at some point I see a fucking car slowly driving by yelling names. That's a fairly rare, fairly common occurrence out here in the sticks. Somebody's, shouting name out of a window, slowly driving by. Not regular, but not that
Usually it's like
uncommon.
their cousin, though, right? Like their cousin's name they're yelling?
Yeah, no, it's usually a dog name. Ah, all
You
right.
get it? I'm clever.
Good job. Well done, sir. I hope that, yeah, I think the people in there were actually like interacting with him. I hope he doesn't start following the truck. All right. The dog needed water. I got him some. Fuck, he is. Damn it, dog. Ah, he's coming back. Hey, puppy. He's running. You need more waters? What's wrong, poopers? What's wrong, poopy? Yeah, get some waters. Puppy. I know. I don't know if I should try to towel him off. Like, he
Because he's just
seems
going to keep
friendly enough,
running in and
but
out of the water anyway, so.
yeah. Well, I'm wondering if he, you know what I mean? Like, suddenly going to get aggressive, get some kind of weird towel. Hey, puppy. I know. There's no fun. Maybe you
If
are
you're
having
going to do
fun. I don't
something,
know.
as long as you're slow, I would think it'd be fine. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm,
approach slow, don't make him do anything he might not want to do, kind of thing.
yeah, like maybe slowly put the towel on him, see how he reacts, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
He seems all right. He came running back, dude, after the truck pulled away. And running back to the over here. Somebody fucking be looking for this dog.
You would think.
An interesting coat because it's black, but you can see underneath tannish and whitish color. Hey, puppy. Yeah, you smell my puppy too? Yeah. There's a lot of golden retriever hairs on there. Yeah. For sure. I don't know what to do, puppy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just selling off useless slaves right now.
Poor puppy. Poor puppy. Okay, it doesn't look like, yeah, there's any, like, it's still pretty cloudy around it. Yeah. Jeez. Huh. Where you from, puppy? Where you from?
Mongolia. I'm positive he's from Mongolia.
Let's see. Snap a photo of him. Hey, puppers. Hey, poopy. Good. Okay. All right. There we go. Camera. Oh no, I didn't want to pull up the actual camera. All right, there you go. There's the puppy.
In all the puppy's glory.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you've seen it. Yeah, I don't know if you can
I'm
see that,
looking
but
now.
yeah, do you have
I'm
any
looking
idea what
now.
kind of dog that is? Not the greatest angle or anything, but
Oh yeah. It looks like a Rottweiler mixed with something else, like a retriever or a similar kind of dog to a retriever, like a short-haired kind of version.
yeah,
But it's got like the
yeah, it's
classic
definitely got a much
Rottweiler
longer
coloring. I see
snout.
what you mean.
Yeah, it's even got the brows
Maybe German
are
Shepherd
brown
and
right above
Rottweiler
them.
got mixed. And it just
Yeah,
has the
although
floppy
he's not
rot ears
huge.
instead of the upright German Shepherd ears. Or wait, no, I
Yeah,
forget that
yeah,
all dogs' ears are floppy. I'm sorry. They just fucking cut
right.
part of the ears
Well,
off in Rots and German Shepherds and Pit Bulls at times.
yeah, yeah,
There's
pit
nothing that
bulls.
makes me
Yeah,
fucking unhappier. That whole like, we're gonna cut
yeah,
this dog's
yeah.
ears off or cut this dog's tail off. It's like, fucking, then don't get a dog.
Yeah, why do they do it?
Eh.
I've never figured that out. I never asked, but why the fuck do they do it?
Oh yeah, this one has its tail snipped, right? Or at least it looks like it in the picture.
No. It's a decent size. It's almost 2 feet. It's about a foot and a half long.
So it's got its normal tail. Okay.
Yeah.
From the angle I'm
Yeah,
at,
no,
it
it's
could be
like,
either
it's
way. It
right
could
there.
be tail or it could be no tail. That's why I was trying to clarify, because it
Yeah,
would make
no,
more
it's just
sense if it was a Rot. Well, if it's a Rot German Shepherd blend, kind of makes that's probably the closest two I could think of.
Yeah, although it's not very big. Like, it seems smaller than either, because those are some pretty big dogs.
Maybe a
It's pretty
Rottweiler
solid
banged
though, I
a
guess.
corgi.
Corgi. I think the legs are too long for a corgi. Even
Well, I
a
got the
mix.
Rottweiler legs, But some of those
Yeah.
corgis get that kind of like small frame.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, it's. I don't. Yeah, it's definitely not anything remotely purebred. Any species that I know of, but I'm not super familiar with dog breeds, so who knows? All right, he's
Yeah,
across the
me
street.
neither, so.
Car's coming by. All right, he seems safe for the moment. Ay.
For the time being, he's safe.
Yeah, I kind of think he's. Yeah, he probably lives down that road because he keeps going down. There's a road that essentially stops, like right across the street from us. Like the road doesn't continue. Like our house is in the way of the road continuing, basically. So like the cross street, running in front of our house, across our house, or whatever you want to call it, is where the one directly across the street ends. The other road.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks like he's going back down that road further this time. So I assume he's probably from some house over there, or not. Who fucking knows? He could just be out trying to get some bitch pussy.
He's looking for a nice bitch to settle down with.
Dude, I do kind of feel bad for like dogs that just have no chance to get laid, especially like when they're young puppies. They got to be funny as fuck. Like I'm not going to jerk a dog off. I don't worry about it that much. Like I don't feel that bad.
Thank God.
But I'm like, God damn, is there some kind of device that he can hump? Like, the grandpuppy will, like with his blankets, he has like he loves to try to hump blankets.
Oh, weird.
Like I have a blanket that I've like kind of seated to him because he's already ripped it into a bunch of places. Like I started taping it up with but then he just starts biting right next to that spot and starts pulling, and he's gotten better about it because I keep yelling at him. But he loves to just hold it down with his paws and just pull the shit apart. But anyways, yeah, he'll bring it up to me, like in his mouth, and I grab it, and he will either start playing like a tug of war with me, or he will jump up and not jump, whatever, rear up, I guess, like a horse, and then he'll wrap his front paws around it and start trying to hump it.
Oh, he wants you to hold it for him.
I'm like, all right, look, I don't know. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Look, I will do this for you. If you can fucking get off somehow from this, I will. At least I'm willing to hold on to this fucking blanket for you. I don't think he ever has. I think it's just a. In fact, I have no idea if his cock even fucking, dogs are inside their fucking body most of the time.
Yeah,
Like, I
the
doubt the
lipstick tube.
fucking cock even comes out. Yeah. So yeah, I don't. Again, I'm not checking. I don't care enough to even about my own grandpuppy to look and see if his fucking the red rocket's coming out. But they do a lot of humping that it's just like a. Yeah, I don't know what it is actually. Yeah, like the main golden retriever channel follow, like the fucking older dog when it gets like I don't know nervous or excited, will like dry hump his fucking son.
What?
Sometimes, yeah, not for very long. He does it for just a couple seconds. Yeah, it's fucking weird, dude. But I don't know. Maybe that's normal shit for dogs.
Yeah.
Because again, it's not like he's actually trying to fuck him. Yeah, it's not like he's actually trying to fuck him. You know what I mean? But he's just like, I'm excited. I'm gonna fucking pretend to hump this other dog. They're both full grown. It's not like the son's a puppy. They're both full grown.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I guess that must be a relatively common behavior.
Relatively
for dogs, I guess.
Because you said they're related, so they're
relatively. I do not. Yeah.
Wasn't letting that joke go. Yeah. Not letting that joke go. You said it. You gotta fucking live with
it. Yeah. Oh fuck. God damn it. But whatever. Spend entirely too much time on this stray dog.
Well, it's interesting, and it's like, unlike a lot of the other shit we talk about, it's the real world, like that dog,
Yeah, why not?
That dog might genuinely have really benefited from the water you gave it, and keep it healthy and stuff.
Yeah, dude, he was drinking out of it for like almost a minute straight, so.
Oh yeah, he's probably
more thirsty than I thought he was.
He's probably somebody's pet for sure. Then. Yeah, we picked up a dog that we called Oliver because if my dad hadn't picked it up, it would have ended up all over the road. But that's what we called that one for a while because of me.
Yeah, nice.
Well, we knew we couldn't keep it, so we didn't want to get too attached. So a joke name actually was kind of nice. The kid that owned it finally saw we put up some posters. The kid saw one of the posters and called. We gave him back his dog happily. So,
shit! I don't think I watched this video about the corrupt judge shoots husband, gets acquitted, then shoots boyfriend.
Yeah, they just keep letting her fucking go and do it again and again and again because she's a fucking judge.
Wow. Jesus. That's even Nate the lawyer.
They couldn't prove that she did it, I think, is the problem. But then, who knows?
Yeah. Oh, was it like not happening in the house, or like she knew better than to shoot him like at her own house or something?
I don't know. I don't remember all the details that well. I just remember that it was like kind of crazy because here was this.
Yeah, she's done it twice. She got away with it twice.
Yeah. Yeesh. She keeps murdering fucking husbands.
Wow, did they both die? Like the husband and the boyfriend both died?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose if they didn't, they would be able. That was pretty dumb of me. Now that I think about it.
I'm pretty sure.
I guess if they were still alive, they could.
While she was implicated in the shootings.
Yeah.
Something like they couldn't. There wasn't enough to give her
They couldn't
charges or
prove
something
it.
like that. Or basically she got away with it because she's a judge. Is ultimately what ended up happening.
Yeah. Mm. So she knew enough to do it in a way that they couldn't prove she did it. Yeah. Well, I hope the next guy she tries to date is familiar with her fucking history of, yeah, and doesn't date her.
Yeah, you know those people that shit and whine and bitch and moan about like STD not being shared. Man, this seems like it's a way more serious issue. Like, if you've murdered several of your fucking romantic interests in the past, people should be warned when you want to date.
Yeah. Like, you gotta start out with, look, I'm not saying I did it. I'm just saying I had a husband and a boyfriend shot to death. I have not been charged with the crime in either situation.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, nice to meet you. I'm gonna
That's when you release
get as
your
far
O.J.
away from you as
Simpson
possible
book.
now. Yeah, if I did it,
you're like, I didn't do it, but if I had, this is how I'd have done it.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah. I like how the fucking Goldman family or whatever was able to get, like, control of the book.
Oh, did they? That's and fucking cool.
Yeah, they're the ones that basically did it where, like, when you first look at it, it just says, I did it. And then, like, in the I, the first letter I, it says, like, if, in very small print.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so first glance, it looks like it just says, I did it.
Oh, I imagine he was pissed when they got all the money out of that. Because he's like, pretty broke as far as I understand.
Yeah. Although I think he still gets, like, a decent...
Yeah, but when you're in that kind of, like, field, man, and you were super famous for a while, and you were just making money hand over fist, boy, having all that money coming in that you could just throw at whatever you wanted to for the hell of it, and more money's coming in, boy, that's a tough thing to give up compared, you know, like, being on a budget, even if it's a big budget after that for those kind of people. It's pretty rough.
Yeah,
they can't handle it so well.
Yeah, because, he used to do, like, the commercials for the... It's like the Naked Gun movie and fucking... so, the income was significantly better than it was before he murdered his, wife and her boyfriend, allegedly.
Yeah. I think we all know he did it. Like, I don't think there's a lot of question there anymore.
Yeah, like even a lot of black people like glad he got away, I guess, for some reason.
Yeah, I don't understand why you would think that that's a good thing for well, I guess if you are so racist that you genuinely think there are teams where this kind of thing is concerned.
Yeah,
like if you're that racist that you actually think there's a white and a black team, and that.
Or that OJ gives a fuck about you.
Yeah, exactly. Or that there's some sort
I remember
of
there was a guy at the time
benefit for you and OJ Simpson's actions.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think it was back when that shit was actually happening, trial and all that. And he's like, yeah, this guy is someone who had turned his back on the black community long ago. And he's like, you'd need a fucking road map to find out how to get back to the hood.
Oh, wow.
And yet all these fucking black people are just so fucking happy that he got away with murder.
Which makes them look worse by comparison for people that think like they do. You know what I mean? Like, it's ironic because if you think like they do, then you're going to be like, oh, yeah, well, OJ did it. He's black. They're black. They must also be criminals. You know, like, but that's the way they think. So it's weird to me that they don't consider that. Like, if you're already playing on a team, wouldn't you realize that this would make your team look worse to their team?
Yeah, no, I think it's just the fact that they have the impression, again, I don't think it's entirely unfounded, of like white people get away with shit all the time. And it's not even white people, it's rich people more than white people.
Oh, yeah, rich people are the ones that get away with shit. It's not about race.
Yeah. Yeah, so for OJ to get away with killing people, somehow like a good thing. Like, no, he's rich. That's why he got away with it. If he was poor and black, we'd
Yeah.
never fucking. Yeah, actually, no. I think Chris Rock had a joke about that. Like, no, he's rich. He's like, yeah, if he wasn't rich, he'd be fucking Lorenzo, the fucking wife bus driver or whatever. You never would have fucking heard of him, and he'd be in prison.
Huh.
Oh shit! Who came
Yep.
in? Samaj.
Pretty much. Oh yeah, Samaj, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, Samaj.
How's it going?
Who else would come in?
Yeah. Who else still
It's
knows
not,
we
it's not
exist?
Satan and satire. I mean, that's for sure. I don't think that dude has been on it.
Yeah, that guy's.
months, if not a year or more.
Something like
It's been
that.
a long time.
Yeah, it's been exactly. It's been a very long time.
Yeah, he's
Hey,
slowly killing himself, I assume. Some self-indulgent, long-term suicide thing he's doing.
Yeah,
Something like that. I'm sure.
alcoholism.
Yeah, yeah.
Good pastime, if you ask me.
Oh,
Anyway,
Mr. Samaj, I saw a report that they had found a bunch of papers on a very, very serious security breach by China that the Trudeau had hidden, swept away under the rugs.
well,
I don't know
it
if
was.
that's a good thing. I hope it's a good thing. I don't know if it matters in Canadian politics, but it seemed like a pretty big deal.
Well, it's kind of an open secret that everyone knows, but the Liberal government tries to pretend it doesn't exist, as they tend to, and also our media doesn't want to cover it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We've all known about this, and parts of the American media already knew about this, about the lab leak here in Canada in Ottawa, or not Ottawa, in Winnipeg. And what it was is that there was, like, I believe it was a husband and wife scientists from China who were granted access into the highly secure labs here where we keep all of our dangerous viruses that we do studies and stuff for. So he essentially allowed them access. Not just not just that. I mean, he specifically ordered that they be allowed in. So by orders of the Prime Minister himself. So it wasn't like a delegate. It wasn't some.
Oh yeah, I see why that would be not so good.
Now, the other thing we did find out is that it wasn't, as far as I can tell, because I'm trying to remember what it was. It was a few days ago I read this, but I believe that it wasn't just those two. There were others as well who were also granted access that we don't know anything about. So that means that there were other people who were granted access. And not only that, they were allowed to leave the country, again, ordered by the Prime Minister to do so. So it's like, yeah, this is all very bad. It's not looking good. To say that
but is it enough to shake his hold on the government? That's the real question.
Well, the thing is that probably not, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was wondering. Was it enough to like start digging that guy out? But
the thing is,
the case would be no.
Well, we've never had a prime minister like this. Like, we had a prime minister who was about to be found guilty of multiple ethics violations for also involving China, for taking bribe money from China. And I believe it was John Chrétien. But before he could be found guilty of anything, he stepped down because of the controversy, and he didn't want to hurt the party and all that. So he stepped down. He was later found, guilty of ethics violations, but at that point nobody cared because he wasn't prime minister anymore. And he was also a Liberal prime minister, so go figure. But Trudeau, he's been found guilty multiple times, and threatened to call an election when he was about to be found guilty of a third ethics violations. And apparently, he was able to work some shenanigans to get that swept under the rug. And so now we're on to a guy who's currently on multiple potential ethics violations, but nobody cares so much at this point because 2025 is when there's going to be another election. So he's already on the out, so nobody cares anymore. He's going to be gone. The problem is, though, is that he's so hurt, he's so butthurt over everything that's happened, he's going to do every ounce of damage he can to the people. So, in other words, he's going to burn the house down on his way out. And that's
Yeah,
what.
he definitely seems like that kind of psychopath.
Yeah, well, he clearly is a psychopath because he's at this point he doesn't seem to care that everything is falling apart behind him. He seems to. It's even as if like maybe even he knows he may even face jail time because that's the kind of situation he's in, like serious jail time. And he's like, well, fuck it. If that's what happens, he's gonna like burn everything down, set everything ablaze. He doesn't care, and it's clear he doesn't care.
Okay, puppy.
The real frightening part of all this, and I shouldn't be frightened by this, but it is what it is. So he right now the only reason he has the power to do what he does is because he's in a coalition government because he's in a minority government.
Yeah.
But he has a coalition with the NDP or Socialist Party here, and essentially giving him a majority. So that's how he's able to do what he does. And you would think with this much backlash, the NDP would be like, yeah, we're going to cut our ties to the Trudeau stuff because they don't want to hurt their own image. But the NDP are also on the outs because they've spent all their money and they can't raise enough money to because you have to raise a certain amount of money to have an actual party. So do like advertising, that kind of stuff, and also have that. So they literally don't have any money. So by the time the next election comes about, the NDP are going to be gone. So you have a leader who's going to be gone, a party that's keeping in power that's also going to be gone. No one has any reason to stop now, because it's like, now, if you're going to do anything crazy, do it now, because it's like that's all you got. And so, yeah, you would think to save face, but they know they're not going to survive. So the NDP support them. That's how we're in this situation in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's shocking, but not all that shocking. I kind of knew this was going to happen because like eventually everything was going to get released. We knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, what is it? You can fool some of the people all of the time, all of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time.
Yeah. Well, everything's starting to come to light. And right now, the only way we can really stop the hurt, and even then, it's like it's not going to do anything. But like, we need to get Trudeau out of office like now, because he is going to burn this country to the ground on his way out, using every ounce of power he has, and he has it, and the NDP are going to help him do it. So
Scorched earth, man.
Well, and that's kind of what's going on. So people are so outraged; they want him to step down because, like I say, every other prime minister who's ever been caught in any kind of conflict like this steps down. I mean, we've had like conservative guys who found out they took like, let's say what was it, like $1,000 to do some personal project, and when that found out, he just sort of stepped down. It's like that was $1,000. Another guy was found he used like $100 inappropriately, and he stepped down. It's like people step down for relatively minor things that they could have paid back for. If they thought, I don't really want to be in politics anymore. I mean, this is the only time it's ever happened. We've never had a guy this insane. So, like, psychopath is pretty clear. So, people are thinking, like, you heard about all those protests going on in Europe and everything?
Oh, yeah. Like, they're throwing shit in, like, the parliamentary buildings.
Yeah.
The farmers are basically revolted in, like, many different countries. I know, like, France and Poland for sure, but I think, like, also Germany, if I remember correctly.
Germany, France. See, Poland I don't know too much about. I need to look into that. But France was...
essentially a bullshit government got itself fake elected in Poland, and they're trying to get them to join the EU.
Is that what happened? Okay, because I remember hearing...
Essentially, I'm pretty sure everything got rigged, because Poland is an entirely conservative country. Like, it's not... There's no way they voted for that intentionally.
So I remember seeing videos of the Polish leader, and that guy was so fucking based. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
This guy, I've seen his speeches. He was doing it in good English and all. What a fucking badass! Holy shit! And so that's why
the speech he gave that I watched, he was like, you tried this shit before. It's gonna fail. It's gonna fail now, like it failed then. You know why? Because we don't fucking need you. You know what we don't have that you have? Crime and terrorism, because we control our borders. It was like, God
Yeah.
damn, this guy is not pulling his fucking punches.
It's like I don't have many man crushes, but boy, oh boy, this guy is such base.
More and more
Yeah,
people are coming out and starting to talk against stuff. You know, like Joe Rogan came all the way around. Russell Brand is all the way around. You
yeah.
know?
Well, and hopefully it's enough, but I don't know because these people who are doing what they're doing, they literally have no scruples. They have nothing.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
nothing. They are desperately holding on to power, and they're going to do everything they can to do it.
Oh, I think it's
So,
going to be interesting when the American election gets rigged again for Joe Biden. Like when Biden wins, despite the fact that nobody wants Biden as the president again. Like even Joe Biden at this point would vote for Trump. You know what I mean? It's like fucking ridiculous. Like there's the minority groups are all on Trump's side. Everybody's on Trump's side at this point. It really is just like the only thing that's against him is the news media. But like the average person on the street in the U.S. at this point is definitely a pro-Trump person. Like, there's no way he loses again if the votes are actually counted, and there's no fake ballots involved. But like, you know, there's gonna be like they're not just gonna hand over the presidency. Like he could destroy so much of what they did in like a couple of months.
mm-hmm.
So it's like they're gonna rig the election again. This is what communist dictatorships do. Like we're in a communist dictatorship. We've lost, and we're gonna keep going through this cycle until people realize like you can't vote these people out. They won't leave willingly or peacefully. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and so it could get ugly, like uglier than it already is. I mean, yeah, they don't really want to give up the power, which is fascinating to see. It's like we'll see. Like I don't know if you heard of one with like Emmanuel Macron and what's going on with his stuff right now. Like, did you see the picture of him?
No, I didn't.
So what? Yeah. So of course it's been an ongoing thing in the French area there, where they have a lot of farmers protesting, and when I say protesting, you know you've seen the videos of them shooting the manure at the
Lighting
places
shit
of government,
on fire,
lighting
busting
shit
through
on
fucking
fire.
barricades. Yeah, those farmers are badass.
Yeah, and then they took it up a notch by going to various different people of the government, because while they're off, I don't know like what's going on, because a lot of them were staying home. What the farmers did is that they went to the homes of some of these places and started making walls around their properties with bricks and cement, and so they bricked them right in their own homes, so they can't leave. I thought, holy shit, that's insane. But I've never seen that before, so that's quite something. But then it got even more so because I guess Macron thought it was safe to go someplace where the protesters were not, and because there was like a farmers conference, and so Macron went there for a photo op and did some interviews and all that, because like all the farmers were protesting and all the farmers at this convention were talking about like candles and making deals. Well, apparently they found out Macron was there, so they showed up and they protested and they essentially almost stormed the whole area. But Macron was in like the upper levels where he was doing all these interviews and stuff. Apparently, when they found out they were up there, they started going up the stairs, and Macron and his staff saw what was coming, and he literally ran. And so there's now this famous picture of him, of Macron running, when he notices that the farmers were after him. It got pretty hectic. There was like a SWAT team or something that was there, and they were going back and forth. There was a bit of a shit show going on there, but they managed to get him out because essentially the farmers were blocking all the exits. But they did find a way out. But man, that picture of him running, oh god, that was world famous. I saw that like all over Twitter. I thought,
Yeah.
Christ, this is going to haunt him for.
It's fucked, man. They're trying to do that stuff over here in the U.S. now. They're going after anything that's like a small farm now. They're trying to come after anything that's like organic. They started a big historical land lawsuit right now against what are those people? The ones that don't use technology. Amish, an Amish farmer who runs an organic farm that sells products to people, but it's not even like a public business; it's a private thing.
Yeah, we have the same thing going on here in Canada.
And so they're starting that same kind of shit over here in the U.S. now. So I'm not surprised it's in Canada too. That doesn't shock me very much. Also in the U.S. you've got the trucker thing going where they're like, oh, New York, yeah, you're gonna just take $350 million from Trump without giving him a really fair trial. We're not gonna bring you shit anymore. Have fun not having anything.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty fucking cool. I'm a big fan of that.
And I was going to say, like, here, because Trudeau, because like I said, he's unhinged. He's just going to do whatever he wants. And he's doing all this raising taxes and stuff on farmers here in Canada. And, of course, the farmers here are starting to think, well, should we follow, like, our fellow farmers in the UK and start protesting and everything? It's like, well, it'll go from one, then to the other, then to the other. So it's like the same thing will happen here in Canada, and the truckers have essentially said, "Yeah, if the farmers start doing this, yeah, we're gonna," because the truckers are already geared and ready to go. It's like, yeah, we just need something to be the catalyst, and then and away we go back to the trucker convoy all over again.
Good.
Yep.
And they won all those lawsuits, right? Like they won all the cases basically that said that what Trudeau did over the course of the thing was absolutely illegal.
Yeah, a lot of them were. Some are still ongoing.
But it looks like, as far as like the way it's going to shake out over time, they're going to get their stuff back.
Yeah, it sounds like that like a lot of the stuff's going on. The only thing that's still a little bit on the iffy side is the Coots 4. I don't know if you remember me talking about them, but they were like the 4 truckers who were at like the Coots here in Alberta, the Coots blockade. Yeah. And apparently the government had said, oh yeah, there's like 4 guys planning to kill some RCMP officers. We arrested them, and then they've been in like jail for like 2 years in solitary confinement.
Fuck, that's not cool.
Yeah, it's been an ongoing
enough
thing
to make them psychotic right now as it is. Like whatever else is going on, their brains are probably fucked.
Yeah, and so there was a lot of talk about that, but it's like, yeah. So essentially, like 3 out of the 4 managed to leave, pleading guilty to lesser charges because they were eventually talked down. But except for one guy who's like this giant of a man, because he's like 6 foot something, or almost 7 foot. He's fucking huge.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He said he's not going to plead guilty to anything. He said, "I'm staying. That's all there is to it until we get the results that we need." So he's in there for the long haul. So I'm like,
good for him.
Like, okay, man, good, all right.
Good for him. I appreciate that, because it's like the other 3. Like, it's great that they got to go home. But they shouldn't have had to plead guilty to anything because they didn't do anything wrong.
Yep.
It's like the bullshit with the Whitmer, the stupid cunt Whitmer, where in the U.S. they tried to, like basically a bunch of FBI agents got a bunch of other FBI agents and then planned out like a plot to kidnap and murder Governor Whitmer. And then just 4 other guys that had nothing to do with it were dragged along. And then they left way before it got to that point anyway. And then the FBI did everything on their own. And then these 4 dudes just happened to have been involved in, like, hanging out with them early on before they even got to the point where they were even talking about kidnapping anyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, Jesus Christ. And they put those people on trial? It was like, that was insane. And obviously it fell apart much quicker than the trucker convoy guys, the 4 guys that were up in the place. But, man, it's just so shitty when that happens to people, because it's like, these people are just normal dudes doing their job, maybe taking a little bit of an interest in politics, and all of a sudden they're in prison. It's like...
Yep. Well, the thing is, for me, it's like, I've never seen myself as an anarchist, but with all that's happened in the last 2 to 3 years, it's like, I'm pretty much getting there, man. It's like, I want to lead the cities. I want to own my own property. I want to have independent freedom. I want to have a collection of guns. It's like I always listen to those anarchists and think, you guys are fucking nuts. and then you see this kind of shit. It's like, yeah, no, they were spot on.
Well, you can always marry Satan and get out of the Canada, you know.
Yeah, no, I don't. I
Sorry.
can't do that.
Oh no. Oh
No,
man.
I'd end up in jail.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh no, but you can always try to at least immigrate if you wanted to get out of Canada.
The thoughts occurred
Always
to
that
me from time.
chance.
Yeah, the thoughts occurred to me from time to time. We'll see.
I'm
Well, and
slowly building up, stuff here and to get out of California. So
yeah. Well, the other thing that's scary in the here and now, and especially for future projects I want to get going, because one of my goals is to make a certain amount of money to do a few things and then possibly leave. I'm working with a buddy of mine on a couple of projects, and so we'll see how that goes. Um,
nice.
which is good. It's exciting. I have to. I'll probably call him later, probably after the stream, to confirm our weekend plans, and then we'll see if we can hammer some stuff out. But if I can get some money going with some projects, that'd be great. But the thing is that it's all going to be crowdsourced and all that, like Kickstarter and
Oh,
all
and
that.
that's always tough to build money up. Yeah, it's not the easiest way. Not
Well,
a lot of
sort of.
people have money these days, man. Like that's also a big
Yeah.
problem.
Well, sort of. I mean, there's a few avenues to go through. I'm not going to say too much until I get. Well, actually, I can say because there's no one watching.
Yeah, no one's watching this. No one's gonna hear what you say.
Yeah. So like my buddy, he's a big fan of board games, and he's been going into that kind of stuff. And some of these things do really well, better than you think. Because people who are fans of board games, people who are fans of board games are fucking passionate. Like he was going over
So you're
some of these
talking
ones.
about potentially making your own board game, I assume.
Yep. Make it well because he brought me over to some board game cafes where people go there and hang out, play games, that kind of stuff, and it was pretty good. And he was telling me about the various different Kickstarters and out there. And I asked because he funded a few of them.
Yeah, if
And I
he's
asked how
kind of
well.
putting together a balanced game system and your art is really good, I can definitely see it lending itself to a board game really well. I could see that being fairly successful, yeah?
Yeah, so I had some ideas, and then I thought I'd run it by him, and we'll see how we do. Like some of them do pretty well. Like, I think there was one that was like a fairly simple 2-player game that made like what was it, like 5 million, and then on their second go at it, they extended it to like a 10-player game, and it was like 10 million. It's like, oh, okay. So I thought, well, that's an interesting goal. So maybe talk to him about the mechanics of the stuff, and then see what could happen, and then see what the next funding goal would be, and then also how to divide money. That kind of, we have to plan this out before we even get it going.
That's actually a really good idea. Like, even if you never make anything, it's better to have an idea of how everything gets split up, and even better if you've put it down on paper. Like, just so that there's never, you don't end up having that big fight later on, or if somebody does try to back out of it, it doesn't work out for them. They don't get to just rip someone off because it's already in a contract somewhere.
Yeah.
That's
So we figured. Cool. Yeah, so for the time being, we're just gonna shoot the shit and see how the stuff works. I printed out. I did some quick sketches and color tests, and I've already printed out the what's it called, like a mock-up of the game. So I'm gonna bring it to him, and then we'll go back and forth. He's good on the mechanic stuff, and also he follows board game stuff, so he can inform me on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then the other thing I do is I've been working on coloring books. I gotta finish up my commission ideas, and I'm talking with a few other guys who want me to do some video game stuff, so I'm helping them plan that out. So I got a few projects on the go, and hopefully we'll see which ones bring up money. My first goal is make at least enough to buy a new computer, because with that I can then do other things, and a decent one that can run 3D graphics and stuff. So then I can work on other projects that could do
like mine. It's not top of the line, but I can run virtual reality, and I can do like pretty heavy video editing and stuff on here if I want. I'm sure that would be yeah, it doesn't have to be like the most expensive, but a decent one. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
If I can make enough to at least afford a computer, then I could do I get other options that I can go from there. So that's the general plan. So it's like, okay, I'm working on these three. Right now I need to finish up the commissions I need to do. I had to take time off to do this. And then now I'm going to go back to finishing up my commission work. And then after that, it's like, I'm not doing anything else for anyone until I get this stuff sorted out. Because I also got like my coloring book ideas. I got this I got to do. And
Well, and you
then,
also have to be careful about how much money you're just giving people to in like free
Yeah.
shit that you're doing for people. You know, that can end
well,
up
yeah.
adding up to, you know, pretty
Well,
easily.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, this is going to be the year of insanity, so we'll see, because this is when everything goes tits up, and we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah, fucking the political season this year is definitely going to be interesting too.
I mean, if I were all these crazy people should probably just, I don't think they want this fight, but I think that they don't really have a choice, because if the other side, like more conservative-minded people, get in, then they're probably going to start asking some questions and crunching some numbers, and probably have a few questions for some choice individuals.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Well,
So
there's more interesting stuff coming up out around like trans people, and more and more stuff is coming out about the fake vaccines that they rip people off with that did like serious damage to people's health, like permanent damage. More and more scientific information is coming back about all of that stuff. So that's rapidly getting to the point where it's not going to be able to be hidden from the mainstream anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely going to be interesting. If Trump is president when that shit starts coming out, holy shit.
Boy, it's we're going to be living in some interesting times. I'm very curious to see how things play out.
Or equally, if it's rigged again, is a demonstration as far as it goes? That's a good question.
Well, and when I think about like if things get rigged again, there's a few options here. I could just flee the country.
Oh,
because,
for you and for us too. Don't throw out the U.S. either way.
Well, the thing is with you guys down there in states is that you kind of have that separation of powers when it comes to the individual states and state rights. Because even after Biden, I mean, I look at places like Florida and Texas.
Like 2 elections in a row rigged that blatantly, like that's a pretty big deal. You know what I mean? Like that, if it to me would signify kind of the end of any sort of actual politics. I would just walk away from politics at that point and just not think about it anymore, because I'll be done.
Well,
If
there's
people are just going to sit by and let that happen a second time, I'm out. Like, I'm done.
There's an interesting movement going on where people have often talked about like civil war and all that. I don't think it's going to go anything like that. What I do think is going to happen.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think it's going to go to civil war, but at least not yet. I mean, eventually, sure, but my concern is more of what do you call it? Do we just let it go? Like, instead of challenging it through the court system, like basically it was like, oh well, we didn't get the decision, so we're just going to leave him in the presidency without any questions, or are people going to actually continue to push it till it's actually going in reversed?
See, some people will probably fight, some will probably protest, similar to like what's going on with the farmers and stuff. I think the more unlikely thing is that a lot of people are going to get disenfranchised with the whole system. I think there's just, doesn't matter what they do, they're always going to lose. So you could keep trying, or the other thing is you can go the more extreme route and possibly talk separation, which is what's been going on here in my province here in Alberta, and we're joined by our neighboring province of Saskatchewan, because our premiers are very based, and they've essentially said like, whatever you do, we're not going to do it. Like, for instance, our neighboring province of Saskatchewan, because Trudeau has this thing called the carbon tax. and that means you have to pay a tax on all your home heating and your gas and oil, that kind of stuff.
Which is
And
basically just a way to suck money out of poor people.
yeah, taxes don't help anyone. A tax
But
is a
it's
tax.
especially egregious to suck energy to make energy more expensive for poor people, because
Exactly.
cheap energy is the biggest part of what allows there to be a middle class.
Yep. So what's going on here is that some because here all right in Alberta, all of our oil facilities they're all independently owned, so the premier can't really say that if the oil companies say that they're going to say yeah we'll pay the carbon tax, in which case the rest of us will have to pay it. The premier is essentially she's negotiated with them, so that way we're not actually going to pay it just yet. But the federal government wants us to pay it. But it's a different system with our neighboring province of Saskatchewan, and the premier there has essentially said, yeah, we're not collecting any carbon tax whatsoever, none. So Saskatchewan, Alberta, we're not paying. We're essentially not paying the tax for the most part. Some of the food prices we still pay because they have to pay for the truckers have to truck everything on there, and they're paying on their gas in between different provinces and stuff. So some food is more expensive, and some of the quality of living is still kind of high. But we're better off than the rest of Canada. Now, which is all, and as a result of that, majority of the population from outside of our provinces have decided to migrate over inside. So my population here in Alberta is almost double because we decided, yeah, we're not paying that tax. And so long as she's in charge, she said, yeah, we're not going to do that. So I think she got in like last year. She got like 3 more years. So that's 3 years of prosperity. So yeah, they're not going to leave. And so I thought that's great. Same thing with Saskatchewan. But the other thing they're saying is like, if Trudeau gets in and continues with this insanity, which the sad thing is it's entirely possible he could. But if he does, then there's a growing movement here of actual separation. And we actually have a precedent because the French-speaking side of Canada tried to separate. I'm talking about Quebec here. They tried to separate from the rest of Canada. They almost got it done. They set up the legal framework and all that, partially because they feel alienated from the rest of Canada because they speak French and everyone speaks English, and there's like no real agreement for a stable language. I don't know, but they managed to keep them there. But the framework was set for separation, and so there's a growing movement here in Alberta saying that, well, we'll use the exact same framework that Quebec used, and we'll just separate from the rest of Canada. In which case, we'll be an independent country. And there's some, which is it? Yeah, fascinating, huh? So they're going to use that precedent that Quebec said, and it's possible that we'll have a joint country with our neighboring province of Saskatchewan. So we'll be an independent country. We might be in there together. Now the thing is with that is that we talk about trade, how you going to get trade out there, how you going to get your oil out to market, because Alberta, our big thing is oil. We have a ton of oil, but the federal government has been stepping in the way and not letting us put our oil out to market. Which, if we could, you guys in the States would have lower energy costs and all that, because we literally can solve your energy problem here. We used to be able to, but then Biden got in and Trudeau got in, and they stopped the whole Keystone XL pipeline and all that. So that's why we're all having this energy problems right now. But if Trudeau was gone, then and Alberta became an independent country, well, then you'd be negotiating with Alberta, not Canada, now would you? And so then we could set it up, and so you guys can get oil. So and then we'd be fucking one of the wealthiest countries out there because we have so much of it that you guys could probably use.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that
the U.S. has enough oil in our own states that we could supply our own oil for the foreseeable future.
Oh yeah, you can. It's just that transporting it from one area to the other. You also have to remember is that there's a pipeline, the Keystone XL pipeline, that goes from Alberta to the United States, and it's out there to get the oil out there quick and fast instead of trucking it over in trucks or trains and all that. The thing is that the pipeline has been built. It just needs to be joined. And when Biden got into office, because Trump was going to do that, but then Biden came into office and stopped it immediately. That was like one of the first things he stopped, which was insane because the project's pretty much already done. So right now we just need to join it, and it's not happening. So if Trump gets in office, energy problem solved because he'll probably get that go. Granted, if Trump gets to office and then Trudeau gets out, then yeah, pipeline joined, no more energy problems. Prices go down immediately. But again, that depends. If Biden gets in, all right, that ain't gonna happen. If Trudeau gets back in, that ain't gonna happen. So then, in which case, separation's probably going to be the next best thing, and it's probably going to happen. I'm guessing it's going to happen because enough of the country wants that.
It might start happening in the U.S. That's the crazy part because
oh yeah,
like 2/3 of the states just passed constitutional carry.
Yep.
So you can carry a gun concealed or otherwise if anytime you want, as long as you're not a felon. Yep. It's like which is essentially just what the Constitution says. It's not even like they're making a law that needed to be made. They would just follow the Constitution. Like, oh yeah, you don't have the right to regulate bearing arms. It means I can carry a gun and anytime I want, any way I want. That's what that means. The right to bear arms and the government shall not interfere. It means you don't get to require a license. You don't get to require a permit. You don't get to require any of that shit. That's nonsense.
Yep.
So it's be interesting. It's be interesting to see what happens over the next decade because it's definitely a time of much more change and upheaval than we were used to growing up.
Yep, that'd be fascinating. Yeah. I'd be curious to see how that would hope. I hope it would happen. I would hope we have the same thing here in Canada because I can't get any interest into the whole thing because our gun restrictions here are so invasive. Like,
oh yeah,
apparently,
you do not have the right to bear arms in Canada. It is not the same.
Well, and not to mention like the Liberals clearly don't want us having guns because did you hear about
they
that?
would definitely know what you having guns. That's the worst thing you could have, man. Then they'd be in danger.
Yeah, exactly. Well, did you hear about? I probably mentioned it at some point about the whole the gun grab thing that they tried to do here with for instance handguns. Heavily regulated. It's a huge process just to get approval to own one, and even then, you can't walk around with it. And if you wanted to go, you can only use it at the gun range. And when you want to use it at the gun range, you have to call them, and you have to call the police in advance and say, "Hey, I'm going to go over here with the gun range and all that stuff. This is the address of the gun range. This is my address." So that way, they know that you're going to go from this time to that time. It's hugely invasive, but that's what they did in order to get that. Well, they tried to ban a series of military-style assault rifles. Was their argument that they were saying, military style. So they tried to pass this whole thing about getting rid of all the really really bad ones, but they assured Canadians, hunters, and all that stuff, it's like, don't worry, we're not coming after your hunting rifles. We won't do it. And they told us that over and over and over and over and over
after
again.
Your hunting rifles, of course.
Yep. At the last minute, when the thing was being debated and going back and forth about the bill, and it was about to pass, the government came in there and put an amendment on it last minute. Did incorporate all of hunting rifles, essentially making all guns illegal in Canada. Yep. It's like you told us over and over and over again, and at last minute you put this on there, saying, "Oh yeah, all of it." Clearly lied to our faces. Clearly that's all happened. And when they got caught on the whole thing, they backed off on it. But they're going to bring it back again, probably by the next election.
Everything that gets backed off on just gets quietly passed in the middle of the night when everybody's watching like a sporting event or at like Christmas dinner or some shit like that. It's pretty fucking disgusting. Because the people in the U.S. were like, no more money for Ukraine. This is ridiculous. We can't just keep giving all this money away. We have plenty of people that are desperately in need of those resources here. And so they waited until the Super Bowl was on and had a quick emergency session where they gave like billions of dollars to the Ukraine.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah, and even Democrats are like people who have been like staunchly like Democrat their whole lives. Even they're turning on. It's like, yeah, no, this is insane. We can't keep doing this because like you look at places like California with the homeless population, or New York with similar problems. Then you have mass immigration, and and you have all this money you're giving to immigrants. It's like, and not only that, you're letting them cross the border to just sort of come in and do as they please. But if I want to go to Mexico, I have to get patted down, or all this stuff. I have
yeah.
to take off my shoes. If I'm traveling with my
Well,
pet,
and
I
if
have to
you
take
if
my,
you go shoplifting in Mexico, they'll put you in prison.
yeah,
Like California, or like in the U.S. and probably in Canada at this point, I'm sure too. They just need to let you go, and you get to keep the shit. It's like it's ridiculous. The
yep.
funny thing is my mom's super like she supports these people, and but she won't go to the grocery store anymore now because in California all the grocery stores have like gates and anti-theft things because they can't, there's no other way for them to stop people from stealing their shit.
Yep.
And it's like, I mean, I don't know what they expected to happen, but like, these companies aren't just going to give away all sorts of shit for free.
And they essentially made crime legal, so you can pretty much do whatever you want.
Yeah, pretty
So,
much.
which is all absolutely insane.
Oh well, in a specific example, one of the gals I used to work with, they had a guy living in the apartment complex that her and her kids lived in, or her and her grandkids. Sure, her kids are all grown up and moved out and whatever. But uh, he kept threatening to kill her grandson, and then he tried to with a fucking weapon. He tried to break in and kill the kid. And then the police got there and they almost didn't even arrest the guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally me shocked. What's that? He might live or he might walk? Oh, okay.
And
That makes sense.
twist for any of I mean, nobody's listening, but these left wing people like, oh, we're just bigots. Well, they're Native American, so maybe like letting a white psychotic dude kill a bunch of Native Americans in an apartment building isn't a good fucking plan.
Maybe you might be onto something there. Or
Even by
or you
their
could
own
just
ideology, that seems like it would be questionable.
or you could just be a bigot.
Yeah, no,
I
I'm
mean,
just
come
a
on.
fucking racist bigot. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking so insane. Um, anyway, I gotta roll out of here. We were supposed to end about 40 minutes ago. Day 12 already ran away.
I saw that. That's okay. We got talking about the insanity of the
And I
world.
wanted to hear a little bit of what was going on in Canada because I don't really understand Canadian politics as well. So
The only thing I'll say is that it sounds like we have a big uphill battle ahead of us. It sounds like things are going to get crazier before they get better, but things should hopefully get better. And I think it'll be the same thing with you guys in the States. If it
well,
doesn't,
more and more people are openly speaking out against the crazy nonsense. So that's a good
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Well, they can't hide from this forever. Although I'll before we get going, I will say one quick little thing about this kind of thing. There was a time when there was also unrest and chaos, and that was after the whole prohibition thing.
Yeah.
And the more I've looked into that kind of thing more and more, and I've come to realize that despite how much the people were against it, the government still won because the prohibition thing wasn't necessarily about alcohol and like drinking and that kind of stuff. It was more or less that there was a changeover from vehicles because you could like make moonshine and that kind of stuff and use it as fuel for your cars, and people would use it as cheap stuff, and they wanted everyone to start using gas vehicles, and they
Oh, interesting. Okay.
so essentially that's what it was all about. But
Well,
history
I think
books
the
are
big thing right now that it's all about is taking away our ability to produce our own food and making us dependent on China for food.
exactly. So
Because
what,
we're
what I'm
already doing
saying,
that with the beef in the U.S. A lot of people don't know that, but
yeah, no, I believe that. So what I'm saying is like the history is sort of forgotten about what that time was all about because we all thought
oh
about
yeah.
the right to have
Oh,
a
wait,
drink
well,
or
the
two.
Civil War almost nothing to do with slavery, you know. But everybody thinks it's this big war that was only about slavery, and it's like, no, there was very little. That was an afterthought.
Yeah. So like what I get at is like as much as I'm very hopeful about things because things are going in a good way. People were hopeful back then with the whole prohibition stuff, but the government still won in the end. And so you gotta be very careful and very cautious. And also, it's like the more I've learned about history and historical events, it's like sometimes things are as they say, sometimes they're not.
Yep.
Just be ready for it. All right.
Yep.
On that somber note, I guess we'll talk to y'all later.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
luck.
Peace out.